Hello, and welcome back to my Heaven's Feel playthrough. We are now at part 19, and it's around the time of Christmas, and I'm back from my family. Had a pretty good time, and now my throat hurts. I think I'm getting sick or something like that. Anyways, in the last episode, everything turned to, well, how do I put it? Dog water ass shit. Sakura basically went overboard and this is now completely crazy. She went to the house to, well, finish off Zoken and stop the thing and win the whole Holy Grail War, but encountered Shinji and, well, went overboard, and now Shinji is not alive anymore. And Sakura is crazy and basically in full control of the Black Saber and the shadow magic that she has with all her magic energy that she possesses as a Holy Grail vessel. And basically went over to Shiro's house, captured Ilya and almost killed Rin, and well, no one knows what to do anymore, and we are gonna see how this continues. So let me load it up and we start the new day with a title. I've forgotten how it was, what it was. Limited. So, time to make a final choice. It's clear we will win this battle. No, it would be more accurate to say that it was decided long ago. This conclusion was ordained from the moment I lost her. But Shiro, choosing to go after it is the most difficult path of all. Please, keep that in mind. The girl who fought by your side and acted as your sword until the very end said that. On the night we parted ways, you promised her that you'd go on fighting by yourself to put a stop to the shadow and this war. You went through hell. You survived it for a reason. You're still alive for a reason. You didn't miraculously survive while everyone else died. They all gave up their lives so that one person might live. You hated that. To break that reality, you told yourself that you had to become a righteous hero who saves everyone. You don't know what his tears meant. He destroyed the Holy Grail, rejected what he'd been fighting for, and desperately dug through the rubble to find a survivor. No matter what he was thinking, his tears saved you and showed you a new path. It became a lonely path. He showed you a dream as he walked ahead of you, and then he died. Good. That's a relief. Ritsuko Emiya took the sins he never atoned for to his grave. He couldn't save anyone, so he wanted you to become someone who could save others. If you are going to deny everything you are, you will be judged for that sin. You know that. You've spent your entire life trying to redeem yourself. You have killed yourself for the last 10 years, believing in that idea. Your dead self just keeps nibbling away at your living self, like worms eating a corpse. And this is the embodiment of your sin. It's pointless to mourn a saint. As long as Archer's arm is attached to you, it will devour you and force you to atone. It will bring you a ghastly fate, worse than death. Just cut it off. Yes. Even if you were to lose your life that hangs by a thread, you will not simply die. And yet, why?
シロだってわかってるでしょ。全部を選ぶことはできない。助けられるのは一人だけなんだって。
You know as well as I do that you can only choose to save one person, not everyone. For a long, long time, that girl searched for her father, only vengeance in her heart. When you asked her to move in with you, she smiled sadly. She told you it wasn't possible. The two of us cannot live long together. And that's why.
それじゃあね。楽しかったよ、お兄ちゃん。
Bye. It's been fun, big brother. This is the final choice. Will you? I'll save Sakura. I'll take Ilya back. We lose. Well, it seems we have a pretty obvious choice before us. Oh. Oops. Oh no. I'm gonna cut that out. Yeah. Oh no, how anti. So anyway, see you in a second. Oh, I've saved and we are now back at the point we started from before. It's a pretty obvious choice. I save Sakura. I'll take back Ilya back. Of course I will. So what if she won? I'm not giving up just because of that.
いい気合いだ。その様子では入院の必要はないな。
I commend your spirit. It appears you won't need the hospital after all. Why are you here, Kotomine?
それは私のセリフだ。
I'd like to ask the same.
リンとお前、二人して玄関に捨てられていてな。
Someone dumped you and Rin on my front door.
捨て子にしては可愛げがないので見捨てたかったが、揃いも揃って衰弱しきっていた。放っておけば死体が二つ並ぶことになる。教会としては体裁が悪いのでな。仕方なく治療してやったのだ。
I wanted to leave you there since you aren't adorable enough to adopt. But we were both in critical condition. It wouldn't do for a church to have a corpse rotting on the doorstep. So, I had no choice but to treat you. I reorient to my surroundings. This is a chapel of Kotomina's church. Nothing feels wrong with my body. I was drained dry of my strength, and Sakura's shadow swallowed me, but I'm recovering now. I passed out in the backyard. Tosaka probably did too. So it stands to reason that Ryder carried us here. Ryder doesn't have any way to heal an injured human. As far as she knows, Kotomina is the only one who could help us. How much time has passed? The time right now is...
深夜の3時過ぎだ。ここに運ばれてから12時間ほど眠っていたことになる。
It's past 3 o'clock in the morning. You have been sleeping for about 12 hours since you have arrived. 12 hours? That's half a day. I stand up from the pew I was lying on. This is no time to be taking a nap. Kotomina, where's Tosaka? She was on the ground with me.
リンは遠坂の家で休ませている。
Rin is resting in the Tosaka home.
お前は体力だけだったが、あれは魔力を根こそぎ奪われていたからな。通常持ち直すには7日はかかるが、遠坂の父はあれによく馴染む。
You were only physically drained, but she had her magic energy sucked dry to the bone. It would normally take her 7 days to recover, but she's taking well to the Tosaka soil.
順当に行けば、明日の昼には意識を取り戻すだろう。
If all goes well, she should regain consciousness tomorrow. Alright. It isn't life-threatening.
ない。あの土地の土は特別だ。何しろ吸血種が寝床にしていた曰くつきの霊脈だ。遠坂の後継者である凛なら、一晩埋めておけば、減らず口を取り戻すだろう。
No. The earth there is special, with very particular ley lines running beneath it. It is said that vampiric species lay to rest on that very soil. As a Tosaka heir, Rin should recover her impudence if you bury her for a night. I think I just heard something really wild, but I won't pry into it. Yeah, vampires and such, right? There's that too in this universe. Anyway, I just hope that he didn't literally bury her alive. And then, thanks for the help. I'm going to leave the church. I know what I need to do. I'll chase Sakura. I'll bring back Ilya and Sakura. I protect the people I love. So what if this war is all but lost? I still have the strength to fight. I can't let myself stop here. There's no time. I'm gonna be pressed for time even though I'm just going home to arm myself. No, opponent isn't something I can beat with any weapon. The weapons I might find at home. Sakura and Saber. Also Zoken and Assassin. If Zoken is after Ilya, and he has all his pawns in hand.
それでどこに向かうつもりだ、エミヤシロ。私には事情がつかめないのだが。
And where do you think you're going, Shiro Emiya? I have not quite grasped the situation. Ilya protected us and went for Sakura. She said that they needed to go to her castle to get her dress. I don't know what dress she's talking about, but I know I just need to get to the castle.
清掃だと？いや、それ以前に麻藤さくらは敵に回ったのか。では、こたびの聖杯戦争、すでに勝敗は決したということか。
A dress? And Sakura Mato is your enemy now? Then the outcome of this Holy Grail War is all but certain. I hate to admit it, but Kotomina is right. Zoken and Sakura. Sakura is unquestionably the superior master, and she can't defy Zoken's will. I don't know what she plans to do with Ilya, but it's over for her if she runs into Zoken. No matter what Sakura does to oppose him, he can take control of her with the crestworms inside her body. Wait, never mind that. Are you following me?
お前一人では荷が重かろう。イリアスフィールをさらわれたというのなら、私も静観はしておられん。
It is too heavy of a burden for you alone. I cannot stand idly by if Ilya's will has been taken. What? This reply shocks me to a halt. What did the guy just say? Too heavy a burden? Are you going to help me?
不服か。相手は最大勢力だ。
Do you disapprove? You are up against the strongest faction in this war.
凛の助力がない今、私程度でもありがたいはずなのだが。
You should be thanking me right now, given that Rin is indisposed. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not complaining about having help on my side, but... Why? You shouldn't have any reason to help me.
もちろん、これは今回限りのことだ。イリアスフィールを救い出した後も、協力者などと思われては困る。お前と私は最後まで相入れぬ関係だ。
Of course, this is an exceptional case. I wouldn't want you thinking that I will continue to help you once Ilya is rescued. You and I will ultimately never see eye to eye. Then...
なに、単純な利害の一致だよ。
It's a simple alignment of interests.
加えて私のサーバントは全て奴に敗れた。理由としてはそれで十分ではないか。
Moreover, all of my servants fell to her. Is that not reason enough? There's no lie in Kotomine's words. A lot has happened between us, but he hasn't lied to me once so far. I can refuse to help me. I think that's gonna end very badly, or could be the other way around, right? But just let me save and not load like the last time. But even if I would say no, I think you would just help me anyway, right? I believe, but I will just not. What you want. I don't know what you're thinking, but I don't like Zoken either.
なるほど、その共通点は大きいな。確かにあの老人には少なからず縁がある。
I see. We have common ground then. It is true that I have considerable ties to that old man. I go down the hill path. We leave the church together, not looking at each other. By the time the hired car takes us to the forest, the sun is starting to come up.
ここで待て。日付が変わるまでに私たちが戻ってこなければ帰っていい。
Wait here. If we don't return before tomorrow, you can leave. We have a black car wait for us on a road near the forest entrance. What kind of service is that? By tomorrow? What taxi would wait? Kotomine hired a driver to take us here. Oh, so it's a special thing. Special service.
差し当たっては足だな。
So, how are you going to help me? With transportation, for starters. After a brief exchange, Kotomine promptly called for a chauffeur. To be honest, it was a big help. There aren't many taxis who would be willing to drive a high school student to the edge of town after 3 a.m.
戻ってくる者がそこの少年だけということもある。
Boy, maybe the only one to return.
その時は良くない状況だ。私の帰りは待たず、全速で町に戻れ。
That happens. The situation is not good. Take him immediately back to town without waiting for me. Otamina disappointedly gives the driver instructions. Dispassionately, sorry. Driver nods silently and opens the trunk.
エミヤ、獲物だ。持っていけ。
Emiya, take this weapon. Huh? Tosses me a stick-like object. What's this? A sword? The stick turned out to be a thin sword. From what I know, it's similar to a western rapier. It's specialized in thrusting, not cutting. The blade is pretty thick, so it feels hard to use. It's like a longer version of the Dirk's assassin uses. What are they called? I just remember the crafting assets in Vagrant Order. I think it was Black Key? Or Black Keys? I don't know. Is this a weapon?
奴は銃を好んだがな。あいにく今はサブマシンガンしかない。幽霊どもに鉛玉は効かんし、お前には扱いづらいものだ。魔術使いのお前にはそちらの方がらしいだろう。
Ritsuko preferred firearms. Fortunately, I only have submachine guns. Dead bullets won't affect ghosts, and you wouldn't know how to use them. This is more suitable for a spellcaster like yourself. I give it a swing. It's oddly heavy. The sword is less than a kilo, but is obviously weighted towards the tip. It's more like an arrow than a sword. Is this some unique church weapon? I can feel some magical energy from it.
国剣という。
Yes.
さらに言うのなら、魔術ではなく秘跡だ。
It's called a black key. Also, it's not magecraft, but a sacrament. I was right, I remembered correctly. Yippee!
霊体を相手にするのは我々の専売特許だからな。その刀身にお前の魔術を乗せれば、サーバントといえど多少は有効だろう。
We specialize in dealing with spiritual entities. If you imbue its blade with your magecraft, it would even have some effect on servants. Only if you hit them, of course. Yeah, it's unnecessarily.
それを使うような事態にならないよう心がけろ。
Do your best to avoid situations where you might need it.
行くぞ。
Let's go.
イリアスフィールが連れ出されてからじき1日経つ。
It's been nearly a day since Iliasville has been taken.
今頃はもぬけの殻かもしれんが、その時はその時だ。
It might be unoccupied by now, but we'll know when we get there.
麻藤さくらがどこに向かったのか、その手がかり程度は見つけ出せる。
We may be able to find clues to Sakuramato's whereabouts. Unlike me, the priest strides into the forest unarmed. I take a deep breath. I put the church sword back in its sheath and follow Kotomina. I am the leader now. I rely on my memory to find the Einsberg castle. I couldn't reach it the last time I was here. On the way to the castle, I ran into Ilya fleeing the shadow. I checked my left arm. It's completely different since the last time I was here. I was helpless and the shadow nearly slaughtered me. That hasn't changed. I have no way to beat Sakura. No. The shadow. And it has Saber on its side too. If I run into them, I'm done. The only way to take Ilya back is to ambush them. I need to retrieve Ilya without Sakura noticing me. In that case, what should I do? How should I deal with Sakura now that she's changed? How can I turn her back into the Sakura I used to know?
待て。麻藤さくらを連れ戻そうなどと思ってはいないだろうな。
Wait, I hope you aren't thinking about taking Sakura Mato back. What? Of course I am. I'm trying to save her.
やめておけ。
Stop.
今の我々では麻藤さくら、いや、あの黒い影には太刀打ちできん。出会った瞬間、話し合いの余地もなく飲み込まれるだけだ。それはお前の方が分かっているのではないか。
Right now, we have no chance against Mato, against that black shadow. If we run into it, it will devour us before we can even speak to it. I believe you already know that. Well, it's true that Sakura wouldn't be any different from the way she was in the backyard. But still,
今回は諦めろ。イリアスフィールをこちらで保護すればまだ猶予はできる。麻藤さくらと話がしたいのなら彼女に対抗できる力を用意してからだ。
give up for her this time. If we can secure Ilyasu, it will buy us more time. If you want to speak to Sakura Mato, do so once you have a way to resist her. Sakura has an incredible amount of magical energy. The only one who might be able to do that is Tosaka. My only role right now is to project the jeweled sword she mentioned, so we can use it against Zoken in the shadow. Damn it. Fine. I just need to focus on saving Ilya first, right?
そうだ。では行くぞ。時間がない。
Yes. Now let us be off. There's no time. Clap my cheeks to motivate myself. This isn't the time to be whining. I'm going to save Ilya. Sakura said she'd kill Ilya. I won't let Ilya die, and I won't let Sakura kill her. All I can do now is separate Ilya from Sakura. I'll just focus on that for now. We arrive at a familiar place. It's been a little over 2 hours since we entered the forest. The sun is already well in the sky, but the forest is still shrouded in the mist.
いるな。この森に満ちた呪いは間違いなく奴のものだ。
She's here. The curse filling this forest belongs to her, no doubt. Kotomiya says something strange as we run. Curse is filling the forest. Can he see those? What curses? Kotomina, can you sense Sakura?
わかるというよりは共鳴だ。それはいいが、万が一麻藤さくらと戦うことになれば、私は撤退する。
It is more than resonate with her. Hope that is all. If we should happen to engage Sakura Mato in combat, he will retreat.
お前はともかく、私では酷化した麻藤さくらを傷つけられん。戦ったところで勝ち目はない。
I cannot harm Sakura Mato, now that she's been darkened. In a fight, I would have no chance. I mean, it goes for me too, but anyway. Wait, darkened? Sakura is Sakura. Once you get that weird shadow off her, she'll
すぐに正常になるか。
quickly return to normal.
それは以前に説明しただろうに。麻藤さくらを元に戻すには、彼女と影を切り離すしかない。
I believe I explained this before. The only way to turn Sakura Mato back to normal is to sever her from the shadow.
方法があるとすれば2つ。
There are two ways.
あの影の本体を消滅させるか、麻藤さくらが影を実体化させるのを待つか。
You can erase the shadow itself, or wait for her to materialize it.
今のお前にあれを倒す術はない。お前にできることは 影がこの世に生まれ落ちるまで麻藤桜の精神をつなぎ止めることだけだ。
You have no way to defeat it now. All you can do is ground Sakuramato's mind and wait for the shadow to be birthed into the world. I don't know how to do that. Sakura's body is covered in command spells. If that's the darkening Kotomine mentioned, doesn't that mean she's turning into the shadow with each passing minute? Kotomine, when you say the shadow is materializing, do you mean Sakura is turning into the shadow?
いや、多少の共感はあるだろうが、影の本体は聖杯の中にいる。
No. They may share feelings with each other to some extent, but the shadow's main body is inside the Holy Grail.
麻藤桜を変貌させているものは聖杯の中にいるものだが、それとてあくまで彼女の影なのだ。
Sakuramato is turning into the thing inside the Holy Grail, but it is ultimately her own shadow.
彼女なくして影は存在できない。形のない本体は麻藤桜の影になることで物質界に存在する。
The shadow would not exist without her. The shapeless main body in the Holy Grail exists in the material world by turning itself into her shadow.
麻藤桜という不完全な聖杯でなければ、中にいるものはこの世に生まれることはない。
If Sakura were not an imperfect Holy Grail, the thing inside would not be born into this world.
だが産んでしまえば、それは麻藤桜とは別のものになる。離れたのなら、彼女を汚染する呪いも止まるだろう。
But once it's born, it will be separate from Sakuramato. Once it is removed from her, the curse corrupting her would cease as well. Kotomine, when you say it's going to be born, do you mean it's inside Sakura right now?
まさか、そうであれば話は簡単だろう。体内にいるものを摘出してしまえば事足りるのだから。
Of course not. It would make this much easier. We would simply need to extract it from her womb.
影の本体は聖杯の中にいる。麻藤桜はあくまでそれに栄養と実像を与えるだけのよりしろだ。
The shadow's main body is inside the Holy Grail. Sakuramato is merely a host which gives us nourishment and a real image. But she's a Holy Grail, isn't she? What's up with that? Are there a bunch of them living around? Lying around?
あるとも。初めに説明しただろう。この地には聖杯があり、その聖杯を人間が用意した聖杯に降霊させるのだと。
Yeah, I explained earlier on that there's a Holy Grail on this land, and that humans supply their own Holy Grails to evoke the Holy Grail in the land.
大元の聖杯。聖杯戦争という儀式の法則を司る大頭脳たる魔法陣。それがアインツベルンとトーサカ、マキリが用意したこの土地にある聖杯だよ。
To begin with, the Greater Grail system, the war itself, is the magical circle that serves as the brain controlling the rules of a ritual. This is the Holy Grail in the land, prepared by the Einsburns, the Tosakas, and the Mercuries. The Holy Grail in the land? The laws, like summoning servants, making the master fight, and summoning the Holy Grail. If the Holy Grail war on this land was artificially created, then it stands to reason that there was a man-made cause. Meaning, if we can find this big magic circle and destroy it, it will get rid of the shadow hurting Sakura. Kotomine, do you know where it is?
予測はつく。正確な入り口を知りたければリンに聞け。
I can make an educated guess. Ask Rin if you want to know where the exact entrance is.
この土地の管理者はトーサカだ。
Tosakas administer this land.
200年前、 アインツベルンが遠坂と手を結んだのは儀式の場所を確保するため。後継者であるリンならば教えられているはずだ。
200 years ago, the Tosaka joined with the Einsburns to secure a location for a ritual. Rin is their successor, and so she should have been told.
もっとも、それはイリアスフィールを取り戻してからの話だ。このままゾウケンの手にイリアスフィールが渡れば、マトウサクラもイリアスフィールも聖杯として使い捨てられる。
Of course, but it all comes after we rescue Ilya, see. If she falls into Zoken's hands, both she and Sakramato will be expended and discarded as the Holy Grail.
マトウゾウケンは大元の聖杯など使う気はない。奴にしてみれば、イリアスフィールとマトウサクラさえいれば事足りるのだ。
Zoken has no intention to use the Greater Grail. From his point of view, having both Sakura and Ilya's view is enough to accomplish his goals.
大元の聖杯を壊すというお前のアイデアもそれでは何の意味も持たん。
Your idea to destroy the underlying system of the Holy Grail holds little merit. Don't be stupid. I wasn't even thinking about that.
そうなのか。お前にとってはそれが最も現実的な打開策だと思うのだがな。実行しないとはおかしな男だ。
Really? I believe it's your most realistic solution. Oh. You are strange for not trying it. Shut up. Why didn't you say anything sooner? If you told me this earlier on,
とっくに起動式を壊していたか。そううまくいかんさ。何しろ私の目的は起動式の成就だ。お前に起動式を壊させるわけにはいかん。
You would have destroyed the activation formula already. That won't do. Our objective is the successful activation of the formula. I will not allow you to destroy it.
言っただろ。イリアスフィールを助け出した後は敵同士だと。私の目的はお前たちとは違う。
I told you, we will be enemies once Ilya's view is rescued. My goals are different than yours.
興味があるのは、マトウサクラから変化するもの。いや、マトウサクラになろうとしているものだ。ゾウケンのような望みはない。
I'm interested only in Sakura Mato's evolution. No, in the thing that is trying to become her. I do not desire something what Zoken wants. Yeah, sure. You're just like him. You're trying to trick Sakura into making something she doesn't understand, so you can take it for yourself.
自分のもの？まさか。生まれた後のことなど興味はないし。そもそも人の手で御し得るものではなかろう。
For myself, perish the thought. I have no interest in the aftermath of this birth. It is not something human hands can control.
現れるのは地獄という現象だ。マトウサクラがそれになれば、私とて例外なく死に絶える。
What will appear is a phenomenon known as hell. If Sakura Mato turns into that, then she will die, then we will all die, without exception. What? What the hell? When the sky's goals is to... You have lost your mind. You know all that, including the possibility that you might be killed, and you still want Sakura to go through with it?
そうだ。私の役割は、誕生する者を祝福すること。
Yes, my role is to bless those who are born.
それはどのような状況、どのような対象であろうと変わらない。
That does not change regardless of the situation or of a child.
ここに生まれようとする命と意志がある。それを阻むことはできない。
Life trying to be born here has a will. I cannot hinder its birth.
エミヤ、この世に純粋な願いがあるとすれば、それは生まれたいという一念だけではないのか？
Emiya, If there is such a thing as a pure wish in this world, is it not to desire to be born? But the thing that is manipulating Sakura is
悪ではない。
not evil.
人間はただあるだけで幸福を得られる生き物だ。
Humans obtain happiness simply by existing.
生きれば生きるほど違う幸福を知り、より高度で複雑な快楽を学習する。
As they live, they learn to the different types of happiness, and they learn more advanced and complicated types of recreation.
だが、人間とて初めから幸福であることはない。
However, humans are not necessarily born happy.
胎児には幸福が何であるか理解する知識がない。
A fetus lacks the knowledge to comprehend happiness.
人間はゼロから何が楽しいのかを学び、何が正しいのかを受け入れる機能がある。
From birth, humans have the ability to learn what they enjoy and accept what they believe is correct.
始まりはゼロだ。
We all begin from zero.
そこには善悪もなく、この世にあることを許されたという事実しかない。
There's no good and evil there. Only the fact that one is allowed to exist.
善か悪か、どちらに分かれるかは人間の学習次第だ。
Our ability to distinguish good and evil depends on our education.
責任があるとしたら、それはその人間を育んだ環境と自らを育てた自己だけだろう。
Any responsibility lies with the environment in which a human was raised, and a human's own self.
そのものが生まれ出ることには何の罪もない。
One is not born with any sin.
故に、それが悪魔であろうと誕生を祝福する。
Thus, I bless the birth of a new life, even if it is a devil.
私は今までそのように生きてきた。
That is how I've always lived.
この生き方は私のものだ。
This way of life is my own.
的を桜から生まれ出るものが地獄であろうと、それを変えることこそ難しい。
Even if Sakuramato gives birth to hell itself, it would be difficult to change its nature. I can't understand what he's saying. I can tell he's sincere. He says that he's going to bless the evil that's trying to be born from Sakura, even if it kills him. Didn't he just say that it's not evil? I don't really understand. I'm confused. I mean, he just said that that it's not evil because it's, well, not born yet. Anyway, I can never accept what he's saying. Still, it's true that he's helping me rescue to rescue Ilya, and that he's trying to set Sakura free from Zoken. His ideas are incompatible with mine. We can't coexist. But right now, we have the same objective. Can I trust you?
共闘すると言った。私の背中はお前に任せる。
I said that I would fight alongside you. I will ask you to watch my back. His answer is firm. That's all. I've gained the best ally I could ask for right now. Now it's time to think about saving Ilya and safely escaping from the forest. Interlude. Is it Ilya's perspective? Zoken? Shadows? Who knows? Black flames envelop her. The extravagantly built halls crumble in a merciless, senseless struggle. The rising flames are like a heat haze. A once shapeless shadow pulverizes walls and floors in time with its host anguish. The dark haze dances to the melody. She stands in the middle of the hall, hunched over. Each time she scratches in anguish at her throat, the ancient castle's beauty crumbles forever. But there's nothing to grieve. This castle was always empty. It is a long-forgotten winter fort. Nobody sees it, and nobody lives in it, so it doesn't matter if it's destroyed. The hall is becoming a kingdom of shadow. In its center is a suffering woman, who's both monarch and slave. It has been a day since she's brought Eliasville here. Sakura Mato's transformation is approaching its final phase. She is merging with the shadow, and her physical existence in this world is torture. Her body is racked by pain. Her cognitive circuits are being rewritten with destructive impulses. If that was the end of her darkening, she could tolerate it. She is accustomed to physical pain and torment. But the heartbreak of having her very being denied is new. The shadow cannot exist in this world. It cannot receive any of the world's blessings. She tears at her throat. Bluntly put, the girl undergoing the darkening process cannot breathe. The air is toxic. For Sakura, who is transforming into a deep-sea dwelling shadow, the Earth is no different from the vacuum of outer space. So she dances. She forgets herself, loses her sanity, and feels fury at everything she can see. It's suffocating, she thinks. She blames the uncaring, unknowing world for her own misfortune.
さて、そろそろ頃合いかのあれは。思いのほか、的尾桜であり続けたが、あと一押しで肉の器になり変わるじゃろうて。
Now, it is about time. You managed to remain as Sakura Mato longer than I expected. But you just need one more push to become a flesh vessel. Two shadows watch the sight. An old mage, Zoken Mato, and a servant assassin.
あと一押しか。その言葉、とうに聞き飽きたぞ魔術師殿。すでに勝敗は決したのだ。私以外のサーバントなど不要。早々に残る2体を取り込ませてしまえばよかろう。
One more push? I'm quite tired of hearing that phrase, Lord Mage. Victory is all but assured. You don't need any servants other than me. We should have absorbed the remaining 2 servants quickly.
分かっておる。だがあれは自ら取り込んだサーバントを殺そうとせん。小娘の浅知恵か、単に度胸がないだけなのか。セイバーもバサーカーも桜に囚われたままよ。殺してしまえばよいものを存命させておる。
And no, but she refuses to kill the servants that she takes in. I don't know if she's short-sighted or spineless. Saber and Berserker remain in Sakura's thrall. She allows them to live live when it would be fine to kill them.
なんと駒はセイバーだけではないというのか。
What? Saber is not her only pawn?
おそらくわしに対する牽制なのだろうが、千両。サーバントを抱え込めば込むほど、あれは多くの魔力を聖杯から引き出す。起動式から魔力を受信する小聖杯ならではの魔力補給だが、流れてくるものは魔力だけではない。
Yes. She's probably keeping him to use against me. Or thoughtless. The more servants she holds onto, the more power she must draw from the Holy Grail. Only a lesser Grail, such as herself, can receive such power from the Greater Grail. But she is receiving more than just magical energy.
あれはサーバントを生かす限り変貌を早めておるのだ。わしが手を下さずとも、じき理性を食われ、理想通りの道具になろう。
It hastens her transformation as long as she lets the servants live. Even if I do nothing, her mind will be devoured, and she will turn into my ideal tool. The old mage laughs, sneering down at the suffering girl. There's affection in his eyes. He does love. His experimental subject has exceeded his expectations and will soon bless him with his long-sought immortality. How could he not love her? In the old mage's eyes, Sakura Mato is a beautiful bride. No matter how she struggles, she will become his. It doesn't matter that she's collecting power, controlling more servants, and attempting to preserve her sanity. 11 years ago, Zoken obtained control over Sakura's fate. All it would take for the old mage to kill Sakura is to blink. But the White Skull is different. As an ominous symbol and a guest who carries death, he is sensitive to others like him.
魔術師殿は軽視しているが、さて。
You underestimate her, Lord Mage. Now. Will this go as well as he hopes? The situation will not change, even if a girl loses her mind. That thing reacts to hostility and bloodlust. In that sense, the girl raving beneath him will be no different even after she loses her sanity. Zoken Mato is coincided. Assassins doubts that the girl will be as obedient as Zoken thinks, once her reason is gone.
魔術師殿、真実、あの娘を御しうる方法があるのだろうな。あれの外敵に対する防御本能は過剰に過ぎる。理性をなくし、敵味方の判別がつかなくなれば、魔術師殿の声も届くまい。
Lord Mage, do you actually have a way to control the girl? Her defensive instincts against threats are too powerful. Without her mind, she may become unable to distinguish friend from foe, and your voice might not reach her.
そうなっては殺気を消す程度では近寄れん。
Once she reaches that point, it will be impossible to approach her, even by concealing one's bloodlust.
あれは自分を殺すという結果を先読みし、外敵を排除する類のものだ。
That thing is a type of existence that can sense outside threats to its life and promptly eliminates them.
ほう、なるほど、それは頼もしい。器としてますます安心できるというものよ。
Oh, I see. That sounds quite promising. I feel even better about using it as a host. The old mage cackles. The White Skull watches the crumbling halls in silence. To be honest, he does not agree with the mage's thinking. His goal may be immortality, but something seems twisted about his course of action and his methods. No, He has always been rotten, a rotten human being. It's natural that the old man would be a maniac, but there doesn't seem to be any consistency to his methods.
聞いたか、アサシン。助けてください、おじいさまと。よいぞよいぞ、その愛がん、11年前に帰るようじゃ。
Did you hear that, assassin? Please help me, grandfather. Good, good. That begging takes me back 11 years.
世界そのものに否定される圧迫、さぞ苦しかろう、さくら。
It must be so painful to be rejected and oppressed by the world, Sakura.
だが耐えよ。お前の体は耐えられるとも。思い出すがよい。11年にわたる孤独の日々を。
But bear with it. Your body can take it. Remember the days you spent in the Goraku jar 11 years ago.
何千という攻めくに耐えたのは何のためだ。何万という虫どもに体を預けたのは何のためだ。そうだ。その程度の痛みお前には何ら問題はない。そのように育て上げた。そのように鍛え上げたのだ。
What did you endure thousands of tortures for? What did you give your body for over to 10,000s of insects for? That's right. This level of pain is nothing for you. I raised you to that way. I trained you. Apparently the old mage can hear what the girl is saying. Sisson only hears her agony, but she does seem to be begging her grandfather for help.
おお、助けるとも助けるとも。お主はわしの作品じゃ。最後まで見届けて死んぜよ。いやいや、だが助けられるのは肉体だけじゃ。11年の鍛錬において、お主の精神だけはついてこなかったからの。
Yes, of course I will help you. You are my masterpiece. I'll watch over you until the very end. But I can only help your body. It seems that your mind did not keep up with your years of training.
そう、受け入れることで苦痛から逃れたお前では、その怨嗟には耐えられまい。だが安心するがよい。肉の頑強さだけはわしの保証付きじゃ。耐えられる耐えられる。お主の肉ならば見事にアベンジャーを待とうであろう。
I know you can't tolerate the resentment after you accepted it and ran from the pain. But don't worry. I guarantee that your body is sound. It will last until your flesh wears Avenger himself. Itself. The old mage keeps laughing. Assistant steps back, watching heartlessly.
どこに行くアサシ
ン Where are you going, assassin?
万が一ということもある。お主にはあれからわしを守ってもらわねばならん。
I need you here to protect me from it just in case.
それは構わんが、黒い聖杯ばかりにかまけ、白い聖杯を自由にさせるのはどうか。ようやく手に入れた正当な聖杯を、なぜあのように遊ばせておく。
I do not mind that, but I have some objection to fixating on the black grail at the expense of letting the white grail free in the building. Why would you let her play after all the trouble you went through to obtain a proper holy grail?
おお、そのことか。何？イリアスフィールは我らに協力的じゃ。もとより聖杯として門を開けるためだけに存在する娘。その目的が果たされるのならとおとなしくうなずきおったわ。
Oh, that. Iliasil is cooperating with me. She has lived her whole life waiting to open the gate. She has agreed with me because I would help her accomplish that.
そう、いぶかしがるでない。お主の求める聖杯はあちらの娘だ。歴史に名を残し自らがオリジナルになる。記録としての永遠を望むウヌの願いはアインツベルンが叶えてくれよ。
Don't be so suspicious. She is the Holy Grail you seek. She will leave her name in history and become the original. Ein's burns can grant your wish of being recorded in history.
だがそれにはあの娘に本来の姿になってもらわねばならん。わしはホムンクルスは管轄外でな。あやつらが清掃を整えるまでは好きにさせておけばよい。
But you will need to take it once she reverts to her original form. Homunculi are out of my area of expertise. Let her do what she wants until the dress is ready.
無理強いはしないということか。
So, you didn't force her to come.
だが、そのような余裕が我らにあるのかな？
Can we truly afford to take such risks?
あるとも。もはや我らに敵はいない。
Yes, we can. We have no more enemies.
エミヤの小せがれと遠坂の小娘が生きておるのは意外じゃったが、どうということもなかろう。あれほどの力の差を見せられ、歯向かうようなバカ者はおらん。
I was surprised that the Emiya boy and the Tosaka girl still live. But they can do nothing. No one would be foolish enough to challenge us after being shown the overwhelming disparity in power.
そのような杞憂で事を急ぎ、イリアスフィールに死なれでもしたら取り返しがつかん。
If we are too hasty and allow Eliasville to die, we could not recover from that mistake.
天の門を開けるはあやつの責務だ。我らは慈悲をもってその仕事を全うさせてやればよい。アサシン。
She has an obligation to open the heaven's gate. Let us show some compassion and allow her to do her work. Assassin?
そこまで。どうやらそのバカ者がいたらしい。
Enough talk. Those very same fools are here, it seems.
ん？
The White Skull disappears a moment later. The killer sensed intruders and didn't hesitate to leave the castle. The enemy has already left the building. They slip through the careless old mage's grasp and are headed to the castle gate.
おお、どうあっても死にたいというのか、小僧。
Oh, do you want to die that badly, boy? But he isn't careless. No matter what happens, he will not let Eliasville escape. In essence, the long-held wish of the Ein's burns has been placed on her shoulders. That pale girl is willing to cooperate with Oken, even without his urging. And they think they can take her and leave? How laughable. Once she leaves the forest, Eliasville will surely reappear in the heart of the Holy Grail. Where it all started.
ああ、家に放任していたのだが仕方あるまい。
I was willing to let her run free, but it can't be helped.
出番だぞ、さくら。イリアスフィールなくしてお前が救われることはない。その苦しみから逃れたいのであれば、遠慮せず蹂躙してくるがよい。
Time to go to work, Sakura. You cannot be safe without Eliasville. If you want to be free of your pain, then crush them all. The old mage cackles, and then his presence vanishes. A shadow crouches in the hall. The shadows have covered the entire hall. It's a black swamp, and two bodies appear in its muck. The girl feels no pain. She hasn't gotten accustomed to the poison. All she can think is,
そう来てくれたんですね、先輩。
oh, you've come for me, senpai. A dark joy overcomes her grim suffering.
あの神父さんも一緒なのね。バカな人。自分から食べられに来るなんて。
He's with a priest too. Stupid man. Why would he come feed himself to me? She lifts the finger. It points towards the castle gate, where intruders are desperately trying to escape.
言って。先輩以外は殺していいわ。他の相手が誰であろうと、問題なく切り殺しなさい。
Go. Kill everyone except Senpai. Slaughter everyone else, no matter who they are. She unleashes the dark giant. The hunting hound roars and storms off into the distance.
今のあなたにはその相手が誰かなんて判断はつかないでしょうけどね。バーサーカー。
Of course, it's not as if you can tell who's anyone is now. Berserker. She giggles. Cloaked in shadow, the girl slowly leaves a ruined kingdom with her dark knight. Interlude out. So, Berserker is back. We get through the forest. We're in a circular clearing in the vast sea of trees. Castle I saw through Ilya's eyes towers over the forest, just as I remember. There's no sign of anyone around. It's strange that there's no guards on the castle walls. To say nothing of a castle, but I can't turn back now, just because this might be a trap. Tomine, can we get to the second floor from that tree? Even if I know we're here, it would be suicide to go through the front door. I need to do whatever I can to get inside, even if it might not work.
そうだな。
Let me see.
侵入するのなら水路を使うところだが、そんな悠長な真似が通じる相手ではなかろう。
I was thinking we could infiltrate via the aqueduct. But this enemy is not so easily approached.
城に入った時点で侵入は悟られる。直接イリアスフィールの監禁場所に乗り込み、有無を言わせぬまま脱出したいのだが、さて。
They will detect us as soon as we enter the castle. We should take the most direct path to where Ilyasville is being held and extract her. Whether she agrees or not, but... The priest thinks aloud as he gazes up at the castle. He narrows his eyes, seeming to peer through the walls, and examines each window carefully.
驚いたな。本気で侮られているようだぞ、エミヤ。
What a surprise! We seem to be underestimated, Enya. Kotomine smirks. Huh? I doubt my ears. This might be the first time I've ever heard him sound so delighted. What is it, Kotomine? Did you find something?
見つけたとも。
I did.
時に一つ尋ねるが、登山の経験はあるかね、エミヤシロ。
By the way, do you have any rock climbing experience, Shiro Emiya? Are you serious?
無論フリークライミングだ。垂直だがオーバーハングはなく、凹凸は十分にある。この壁なら足場は確保できる。道具はなくとも登るのはたやすい。なに、氷壁に比べれば道を歩くがごとしだ。
Of course, I'm talking about free climbing. It is a sheer wall with no overhangs and plenty of footholds. It will be easy to scale it without any equipment, like a walk in the park compared to climbing a wall of ice. Wait. Kotomine places his hands on the castle wall without waiting for my opinion. What? Then he just starts climbing it, sticking to the surface like a spider. He isn't going very fast, but his descent is sure and steady.
何をしている？ポイントの確保ができないのなら見て真似ろ。4階程度の壁登りができぬほどやわではないだろう。
What are you doing? If you're not sure where to step, then copy me. I know you're strong enough to climb a mere 4 stories.
ああ、それと国権は置いていけ。帰りに拾っていけばいい。
Oh, and leave a black key. You can pick it up once on the way back. With that, the priest keeps climbing. Is that guy being serious? I drop a sword Kotomir lent me and approach a wall. He must have picked an easier section of a wall to climb. The surface is uneven, and I find a place to grab onto. Free climbing is about more than just muscle strength. You need to judge whether your next handhold is safe or not, whether a depression is deep enough to support your weight, whether you can use it to make it to the next step. And when climbing a nearly vertical wall, you're basically making it up as you go along. Could be a mere a meter from your destination, but if you can find your next handhold, you have to go all the way back down to the ground and try a new route. Finding your way to the goal. Only experienced climbers have the skill to constantly scan 2 or 3 steps ahead by scaling a wall. And I'm definitely not experienced, so all I can do is try to imitate Kotomine. One slight misstep or failure to judge my strength could send me careening to the ground. I can't believe him. Who would make a beginner do this? I grumble while I climb. It's a crazy plan, but not totally reckless. Yeah, rock climbers are crazy, and climbers in general. Normally, you'd only climb walls like these when you're more than halfway to the mountain summit. And climbers need to worry about more than just climbing. Just as the deep ocean is an inaccessible abyss to humans, high altitudes are also sacred enough that we can't enter. At 6,000 meters above sea level, oxygen becomes critically thin, and untrained climbers can't last more than a few hours. They suffer from nausea and dizziness, which will progress to cerebral edema before culminating in death. A mountain peak is an airless hell that becomes harsher the higher you go. Thus the extreme cold, even the slightest scratch on frostbite skin, will lead to necrosis. Climbing in such extreme conditions means you have to worry about your bodily functions steadily declining as you ascend. Compared to the harrowing ordeal that real climbers face, scaling a castle wall doesn't sound impossible at all. Or so you'd think, but it's still hard. All I can use are the very tips of my fingers. I cautiously scout the thinness of lips or crevices I can use to support my entire body weight. He's asking me to keep up with him on a climb only an expert could do.
待て、移動した。上かと思えば下か。エミヤ、3階の窓まで下がって中に入れ。
Wait, she moved. She's on a lower floor than I thought. Emiya, go down to enter through the 3rd story window. Don't ask me the impossible. Do I look like a lizard to you? Kotomine, I found a window. How do I get inside?
構わん。ぶち破れ。
I don't care. Break it. You fake priest. If you'd known about this, it would have been way easier to climb a tree to go inside, you moron. I break into the castle. I shatter a window and dive through it, all in the same motion. I hang from a wall with both hands and swing my body like a pendulum to burst through a window with my legs. I roll onto the floor and onto an extravagant carpet. By the time I swung my legs down, most of my body was already falling. If I'd been even a tiny bit late kicking the window, I might have kicked off the stone wall instead of fallen 3 stories on my back. And fallen 3 stories on my back. Anyone would die from a 3-story fall on the head. Breaking the glass with my legs and rolling into the shards was dangerous, but I chalk it up as an acceptable risk.
シロ、
One instant, all worldly trifles vanish from my mind. Ilya. I even forget that I am deep in the enemy territory. I recall the events from my backyard. Ilya said farewell to me with such a forced smile.
呆れた。なんで来たのシロ。もうあなたの出番なんてないのに、まだ無駄な努力をするつもり？
Can't believe this. Why do you come, Shiro? I said that your role in this is over. Are you still going to waste your effort? Her voice is stony. She's making the same cold expression she did when we first met. I'm used to it. I should be used to seeing her like this, but...
まだわからないの？さくらのことは私に任せればいいの。これは私の役割なんだから。シロはおとなしく家に帰って。
Don't you get it? You can let me take care of Sakura. It's my role, so you need to go home. Don't say it's your job to clean up this mess, idiot. I lose my patience and slap Ilya's cheek.
シロの無礼者！レディーの方を叩くなんて紳士じゃないわ。いくらシロでも私にこんなことするなんて許さないんだから。
What? How rude! No gentleman would slap a lady's cheek. Don't think you can get away with it just because it's you, Shiro. You're the one who needs to apologize, stupid Ilya. If you were a boy, I'd give you a good punch, you little delinquent. My blank mind suddenly flares with irritation, even though I'm happy to see Ilya.
何よ、私怒られるようなことしてないじゃない。私は自分の役割を果たすためにさくらについていっただけよ。それが一番いい方法なんだから、シロに文句を言う資格なんか。
I didn't do anything wrong. I went along with Sakura to fill my duty. It's the best way to resolve this, and you don't have any say in... Shut up, I don't care. Look, I don't know anything about your role or your duty. I'm just here to take a misbehaving girl home. Can't fool me, no matter how tough you try to act. As long as any part of you doesn't want to do this, I'm taking you home.
強がってるって何よ。私は嫌だなんて思ってないわ。この体は聖杯として作られた。あいつらのために鍵になるのは尺だけど、それで聖杯の力を使えるようになれば、さくらだって。
I'm not acting. I'm here because I want to be. My body was created as a holy grail. I don't want to be a key for them, but if the holy grail can be utilized, even Sakura. That's the definition of acting, though. Who cares about the holy grail? You're Ilya. If you want to keep being yourself, forget about all that. Don't sacrifice yourself for anything or anyone else. I look away. Ilya bites her lip for a second.
それはシロだって。
You too, Shiro. She whispers something I didn't quite hear.
いいわ。仮に私が嫌がってるとしても、それがどうだっていうの。私たちじゃさくらには勝てないし、逃げられない。
Fine. Let's say I don't want to be here. So what? We can't win against Sakura. We can't even run away.
私をこの城から連れ出すことは不可能よ。だから 造形も好きにさせている。
It's impossible to take me away from this castle. That's why Zolkin's letting me do as I please.
シロだけならまだ見逃してもらえるけど、私と一緒じゃ絶対に森からは出られないわ。
He might let you leave on your own, but there's no way you're getting out of the forest with me. The scarlet eyes urge me to leave. I don't even need to save for that. We're obviously going to bring Ilya home. I'm still taking you home. I'm not leaving without you. There's nothing to consider. Right now, this is the only choice that exists. Ilya doesn't say anything. She gazes at me with an absent expression. I take her defenseless hand. Let's go, Ilya. We should go home before they find us. I pull her close and start walking. She's small and terribly light.
呆れた。シロには何を言っても無駄ね。
I'm amazed. I don't think you'll listen to anything I say. Ilya doesn't resist, tottering along with me.
本当にこんなのうまくいくはずないのに。
I mean it. There's no way this can end well. She happily claps my hand in return. Clasps my hand in return. Sorry.
何を悠長にやっている？
What are you taking your time for? And then, Kotomine jumps through the broken window, his coat fluttering.
琴峰。
Ilya lets go of my hand and squares off against Kotomine. Ilya, wait, he's on our side. I brought him in as last-minute ally just this once.
嘘。シロったらこんなやつと手を組んだの？ダメよシロ。こいつは。
Huh? No way! You're working with a man like him? You can't cheer who he's...
無駄話は後だ。追いつかれる前に外に出るぞ。
The idle chat can wait. We need to leave before they catch us. Kotomine moves in a flash. Before I can react, he scoops up Ilya in his arms and dives out of the window. Where? Ilya! I panic and run to the window. Kotomine just landed on the ground. As soon as he touches down, Ilya wildly waves her arms and slaps him across the face. It's a pleasant sound that I can hear from up here. Wait, what I'm so impressed about? He's basically telling me to jump. There's no time to doubt myself. If I can't pull off a landing, I'll survive somehow. I charge my legs with as much magical energy as I can manage. I can't magically strengthen my own body, but it should lessen the impact. That's crazy. Oh, bad idea. I jumped from over 20 meters high and drop into a roll when I land. 3 stories doesn't sound like much, but until you consider how tall this castle is. It would have easily been 8 stories in a Japanese apartment building. That's smart. I thought I was gonna land on my head. Damn it. My legs are too numb to stand up. Luckily I landed on grass. If this has been asphalt, my bones would have been broken out of my legs. And then I wouldn't be able to get out of here.
びっくり。シロ、丈夫だね。
Wow, you're sturdy, Shiro.
そうだな。 あの高さから何の魔術講師もなしに落下とは恐れ入る。やけか
Indeed, I'm amazed you have managed to jump from that height without using any magecraft. Have you given up on life? Both of them are staring at me. Ilya aside, Kotomina's words nearly make me forget about my numb legs. Okay, I am. That was all I could do to follow you when you jumped. I'm never doing that again. I could have broken my legs and almost passed out as soon as I jumped.
だが5体満足ではないか。文句を言われる筋合いはないが。しかし、確かに驚きだ。よくあの高さから飛び降りようなどと思えたな。
And yet you are worse for wear. I suppose it's nothing to complain about. But it's quite a surprise. I didn't expect you to jump from that high.
いかに魔術師とはいえ、魔術講師なしで飛び降りようとは思うまいに。
No mage would attempt such a feat without using magecraft. I mean, they left me behind. I couldn't let Kotomine show me up after he jumped out of there with Ilya.
シローのせいじゃないわ。シローは体だけじゃなくて心までアーチャーの影響を受けているのよ。
It's not your fault, Shiro. Archer's influencing your mind as well as your body.
だから体だって丈夫になってるし、あの高さなら降りられるってアーチャーと同じように思っちゃったのよ。
That's why you're getting tougher and why you thought that you'd be fine dropping from that height. You're starting to think like Archer. Ilya, what do you mean?
なるほど。それは頼もしい。戦闘面でその強気を発揮してくれ。そら、お前の剣だ。
I see. That is reassuring. Do maintain that vigor and battle. Here, your sword. He tosses me the weapon I left behind when I started climbing. Oh.
走れるな。ここからは命がけだぞ。
Can you run? Your life depends on it. But to me it says that we don't have time to stand around talking and make through the castle gate. When as if issuing a challenge. A different sound shakes the wintry castle.
やっぱりまだこの世に留めてたのね、さくら。
I knew it. Sakura kept him in this world. It's unmistakably the roar of a predator. It signals that a beast is on the hunt. It is a death sentence handed down to the lost prisoners by the kind and merciless lord of a castle.
まさかか。
My mind switches over to battle mode. Berserker, he said. The name invokes the image of a threat that once, that still threatens me. It squeezes the corn out of every last cell in my body. Kotomine.
引くぞ。戦ってどうにかなる相手ではない。追いつかれれば殺されるだけだ。
We're leaving. That is not an opponent we can fight. We will only die if it catches up to us. Kotomine runs ahead of the gate to the gate. Don't look back, Ilya. Leave him. He's not who he used to be. I take Ilya's hand and start running. I can't afford to save my stamina anymore. If that mad warrior is the one pursuing us, then the only way to survive is to run as fast as we can for the 3 hours it takes to reach the edge of the forest. My breath catches in my throat. Being overtaken by a darkness I can't ignore, no matter where I look. We run through the forest. I can't see anyone behind us yet. All I hear is the wind gusting by. Our pursuer is a titanic beast, not a hound. Or we have to dodge between the trunks and branches. It closes in on us, while tearing apart everything in its path. You'd think we were being chased by a giant drilling rig, boring it away through a forest. A jet black wall slowly accelerates, threatening to close in around us.
ダメ、そんなに速く走れない。
I can't run that fast. A slower pace to match Ilias. This is bad. The hostile wall is about to as fast as me. If I have to run while carrying Ilya, it'll definitely catch up to us within a minute.
やっぱりダメ。私は残るから城一人で逃げて。
I can't do this. Just leave me and go, Shiro. It hasn't caught us yet. Get on my back. I can handle it.
バカ、どうってことある。そんなことしたらすぐに追いつかれるってわかるもん。
No, you can't steal it. You know it'll catch up to us if you carry me. What should I do? Should I keep running with Ilya or should I fight that monster? I couldn't even defend myself against assassin. Could I possibly go toe to toe with that monster? The strongest servant with nothing more than a borrowed thin sword? I can't. Stop. Give me a break. There's absolutely nothing I can do to beat that monster. If I stop, I'm dead. I'll be killed for sure. Face the monster. It'll chop my feeble body in half, and it'll stomp my still conscious torso to smithereens like an industry grinder.
その必要はない。イリアスフィールは私が運ぶ。
There's no need for that. I will carry Ilya's wheel. Huh? Ilya and I turn around. We don't have time to stay surprised. Kotomine comes all the way back to us to pick up Ilya in his arms without further ado. I don't know, but it looks funny. He's fast! Kotomine must be in great shape. With his height, he should be able to easily run while carrying Ilya. But we're in the middle of a forest, with both arms occupied by a charge. He navigates the uneven terrain and thick trees without slowing down at all. Kotomine! I run after him as fast as I can. Keep up with him. Unshackled I run next to Kotomine, who is carrying Ilya. I managed to cover 100 meters in 7 seconds. In this forest, that's so easy to trip on. 7 seconds? I don't know what the world record is, but okay. Heart beats at a rapid cadence. Something's wrong. I'm running too fast. No human can run through a forest nearly 50 kilometers per hour. My legs throb. My wrapped left arm feels odd, like it's swollen. This must be what Ilya is talking about. Archer's physical functions are taking over Shiro's MES, not just his combat experience. It's a radical, potent, muscle-enhancing drug. The poison is injecting into my body, giving me power beyond my own. It's good. Even if it's like shaking a Geiger counter to try and make it not detect the radiation leak, I appreciate it right now. But not Kotomine. He's not showing any signs of magical energy output or magecraft usage. It's hard to believe, but he's sprinting while carrying Ilya without the aid of any magecraft at all. Hey, are you actually human?
お前ほどではない。それより気がついたか。この速度を保てば逃げ切れるぞ。何しろあれは目が見えぬようだからな。
I'm not as far gone as you. Have you noticed one? If we maintain this pace, we can escape. It appears that Thing is blind. You mean he can't see us?
そうとしか思えん。
That's the only possible conclusion.
速度ではあちらの方が上だ。森の木々などバーサーカには小石程度の足止めにしかならん。 にもかかわらず追いつかれないのはあちらに何か欠陥があるのだろう。
He's faster than us. The forest trees are but pebbles in Berserker's path. If he still hasn't caught us, it must be a flaw on its part. Kotomina explains calmly. It bothers me that he can look so bored talking about something that should have jumping for joy. But that means we can't get away. So it is just up to our stamina.
いや、逃げ足だけで勝ち抜けるほど
No,
甘くはないのだ。
no. They aren't soft enough to let us slip from their grasp. His voice drips with hostility. Before I understand what he means. Assassin. Left arm twitches. I see a white sky. Like a rapid slideshow. Assassin flits in and out of the trees on a path parallel to ours, seemingly mocking our escape. Wait. By the time I notice it, it's too late. Assassin makes a subtle wave of his arms as he slips in and out of the trees at high speed and... Someone blocks the attack before I can skewer me between the eyes. I guess only one person could have done that. Kotomina deflected a throw that I couldn't even see by carrying Ilya.
目障りなやつだ。手が空いている時は現れぬくせに、忙しい時は呼ばずともやってくる。
What a nuisance. He never shows up when we are idle, but comes uninvited when we are busy. Kotomina slows his speed. The priest frowns with displeasure, watching the Dark Killer keeping pace with us. Kotomina?
イリアは任せた。代わりにあれを任されよう。
Take Ilya. I will deal with this.
なに、これでも神職だ。悪霊払いは慣れている。
After all, exorcising demons is a familiar part of my priestly duties. Man. He was kind of a wuss in the other rods, but man, in this rod, he's such a shad. God damn. Kotomina stops and lets Ilya down. Are you serious? Ilya is bewildered and I take her hand and pull her close. At the same time, 3 daggers fly at us like bullets. Kotomina.
鋭いが実直すぎる。アサシンを名乗るにしては読みやすい立ち筋だ。
Sharp, but too honest. Or one who calls himself a lord of the mountain. You are so easy to read. I'm having trouble believing it, to be honest. Assassin let fly 3 flashes of lightning, and the priest parried them with all without breaking a sweat. Berserker. Damn, that one was close. He'll definitely catch up if we get stalled here. I can't stop now. I need to take Ilya and get out of here. We can go, right? Kotomina?
そう言っている。こちらの心配は無用だ。
That's what I said. You need not to concern yourself with me. Pick up Ilya up. I can't go as fast as Kotomina, but this should be faster than holding her and while running. Holding her hand while running. I leave the priest behind. The dark roars are on the other side of the forest. Its wrecking destruction is a seemingly wild pattern to smoke us out, but closing in on us all the same. I don't have anything to say to Kotomine. The best answer I can give now is to turn my back on him and run with all my might. But right before I leave...
エミヤ、助けた者が女ならば殺すな。
Emiya, if you save a woman, don't kill her.
目の前で死なれるのはなかなかに応えるぞ。
It's rather galling to watch her die in front of you. The priest says something oddly self-deprecating and human. Huh?
余分な忠告だ。急げ。バーサーカーだけならば逃げ切れよう。後の戦いはお前次第だ。エミヤしろ。
I feel like I'm not remembering something, or I should get that. Anyway. A needless warning, Harry. You should be able to escape, Berserker. The rest of this war depends on you, Shiro Emiya. I nod and start running. Two shadows shrink into the distance. When I look back one last time, this back is so far away. I have an ominous feeling. I don't think we'll see each other alive ever again. Damn, he's like Archer from the Fate Road when he stayed behind at the castle and fought against Berserker. An interlude we have here. Probably Kotomina. As an aside, it is a misconception to say that a priest's duty is exorcism. Priests deliver the word of God. They do not drive out demons. Their God is one and absolute. He resides in all, and is the greatest of all. He is the Holy Spirit who created a perfect world. He would never allow an evil to corrupt his children and dirty his creation. But some evils are tenacious in their corruption of man and tainting of the earth. There are things which should not exist, profaning this world. They reconcile this seeming contradiction thus. Even the demons which threaten the man are necessary pieces of the world the Lord created. They are creatures worthy of his love. According to this dogma, demons serve the world of heaven. If the divine cultivates man's goodness, and the demonic forges man's evil nature, they both serve heaven's will. A priest who preaches the Lord's words has no authority to destroy demons, and yet, to retaliate, some demons are particularly tenacious in the corruption of man and tainting of the earth. They wreak ghastly tragedies beyond human comprehension. In time, his children mistook heavenly designs for powerlessness. They sought miracles from the Lord and to stop the evil they should not understand. They could not understand. Thus, expectations were created. Human apostles who do not preach the Lord's word and instead execute his will. Trials originally meant to be witnessed. Heresies originally meant to be denied. Also receive the eighth sacrament, which originally did not exist. The 120 cardinals ordered the creation of the executors, destroyers of evil. They drive out evil and eliminate that which does not exist in the Lord's gospel. Those who hunt the faithless are themselves unbound by faith. One could conclude that they are permitted to be immoral. They are charged to protect only one thing, the name of the Lord Almighty. For that cause, they will even destroy the evil he created. That is the only thing they have in common with exorcists.
大公社か。連中はこぞって鳩のごとき軽薄さ、蛇のごとき移り身を習わせるというが、なるほど。貴様もその例に漏れぬらしい。
An executor. I have heard that the church teaches them to be as flighty as a dove, yet as treacherous as a snake. And that you are no exception. The white mask sneers. Kiri Kotomina does not answer. He checks his weapons. He has 5 black keys of confession for each hand, And his left arm contains several unused command spells from the previous war. He's more than well armed against lesser spirits, but he lacks the firepower to fully defeat a servant, even if all of his blades were to strike true. Assassin is still a heroic spirit, albeit a nameless one. It would be impossible to defeat him without a scripture carried by a secret few executors.
どうした？見れば貴様のそれも投擲するもの。ここで私と一勝負興じてみるか。
What's wrong? I see that you possess throwing weapons as well. Shall we have a contest? The priest doesn't move. He listens keenly to the sounds of the forest by watching the sky lurking between the trees. The rustling of leaves, the breathing beneath a mask, the rippling of flesh, and the fading footsteps of a maid warrior.
やはりあちらに行ったか。的尾さくらとはうまくいっていないようだな。マキリ造剣。
So it's gone that way. You must be having trouble with Sakura Mato, Zolkin Makiri. He makes an observation, his eyes fixed on the sky.
そうか。わしの気配に気づいておったか、綺麗よ。
So, you've noticed me, Ire.
そこまで分かっていながら足を止めるとは何事じゃ。以前のお主ならば小僧を蒔絵にしても逃げ切ろう。
Why did you stop if you know so much? Before you would have fed that boy to the dogs and run.
だというのに自らおとりになるなどらしからぬ善行。よもや情にほだされたなどということはあるまいな。
And now, you'll graciously offer yourself up as bait. How very unlike of you. Don't tell me you've been overcome by a sudden episode of compassion. His laughter echoes through the forest. The white skull sways slightly. The priest doesn't even twitch an eyebrow.
何？エミやシロを助けたつもりはない。
I had no intention of helping Shiro Emiya.
単にこちらに用があっただけだ。
I simply have business with you. Kotomiya speaks to the invisible mage without even showing his bloodlust.
わしに用があったと？
Oh, business with me, you say?
無論だ。どのみち、私もエミヤも森からは出られまい。じき殺されるのは分かっている。
Of course, neither Shiro, Emiya, nor I will escape this forest. At any rate, I know that we will be killed soon.
ならば、死ぬ前に斧が目的のために手を打つのは当然だろう。
It only stands to reason that I would try to achieve my own goals before I die.
ん？では、イリアスフィールがどうなろうと構わぬというのか。あれを救うために来たのであろうが。
Hmm? So you mean you don't care what happens to Ilyasville? I thought you came here to save her.
構わんさ。ここでアサシンを倒し、エミやシロを助けに行ったところで間に合わん。エミやシロがあの娘を救おうと救うまいと、もう私には関係のないことだ。
I don't care. Even if I defeated Assassin here and went to help Shiro Emiya, I would be too late. It is of non-concern to me whether or not he saves the girl. His left hand holds 3 black keys. The priest watches the skull in front of him, holding the swords in a fan shape.
では、わざわざこの場に残ったのは。
Oh, so you stayed here deliberately?
なあ、私のすべきことは、イリアスフィールをお前に渡さぬことか。
Yes, I'm thinking that I should either prevent Ilya from being handed over to you. Bloodlust disappears. White mask camouflages him among the trees and completely vanishes from sight.
ここでお前を殺しておくことのどちらかだ。
Or kill you where you stand. Blades streak through the air. The priest's thrust clashes against assassins thrown dagger.
そうか、そのために死にに来たか。よかろう、きれい、腐れ縁じゃ。教会の外れ者がどこまで戦うか見届けて死んでようぞ。
So that's what you came here to die for. Very well, Koto Kire. Very well, Kire. For old time's sake, let us see how well a reject from a church can fight. His cackling rings through the forest. Knowing he can't win, the clergyman who only drives out evil faces down the Malek Ahmad, whom the old mage controls. Interlude out. I run through the forest carrying Ilya. I can't look back. The second I do, I'll be too conscious of a giant black wall and lose hope. I can't afford to do that. If my sprint dulls for even a bit, it'll catch up. It'll catch up me and Ilya. It'll catch me and Ilya and kill us. My legs feel like they're going to fall off. No matter how light Ilya is, you can't while carrying someone without slowing down. To make things worse, the terrain is perilous and I risk falling over every step. Faster, 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 faster. I need to go faster than I am now, or they'll catch us. The presence behind me closes in with each passing second. I need to stop this lazy jog. I need to run faster, faster like Otomine. I need to take Ilya out of here. My heart's going to burst. It's tight, I can't breathe. My leg muscles stare and I cry out in pain, as if my bones are going to burst out of my thighs. It's suffocating. How long have I been running? Having left Kotomini behind, I've been running like there's no tomorrow through the forest with Ilya in my arms. I've already run over 5 kilometers. Maybe double that. My oxygen-deprived brain isn't sure. I've just been running as fast as I can, never letting my pace drop. But I can't get away. I've been running so hard that I feel like my heart muscles will cramp. But the presence behind me grows larger and larger. Ilya is heavy. Oxygen is heavy. My legs are heavy. Death is heavy. I die if it catches up. The incomprehensible terror of getting instantly killed haunts me from behind. Damn. I kick my flagging my mind into gear. Run. Don't think. Just run. So what if my legs fall off? There's no point worrying. I can't think about it once it happens. I just need to head for the exit as fast as I can. Fuel up your chest with gasoline. Turn the key to the engine and keep it from trying to stop. Stay in top gear and throw the brakes out. Run, run. Run to save off the anxiety closing in from behind. Run to ignore the terror on my heels. Run to wipe out all of the pathetic whining. Shut up. Stop screaming in my ear. My own breathing is enough to rupture my eardrums. So I definitely don't have time to listen to your... Oh, stop, Shiro! Ilya shouts into my chest. A full-throated scream makes my body react without a second's thought. You I stop. I dig my heels into the ground to hold my momentum and set Ilya down. Trace. Begin. I ready the black key sword I had on my waist and manifest my magic circuits at 200 miles per hour. On. Synchronization. Nothing comes to mind. Basic structure analyze, composition analyze, basic structure alter, composition reinforce. Without even thinking about it, I complete a single count incantation in this instant. I use both hands and every ounce of strength to resist the attack. The whirlwind comes in from the side. Our pursuer charges in from our flank, scattering the trees in its wake. My body is sent flying, pulverized by a single strike. The sword that I strengthened with all my might might be diamond hard, is crushed like hot toffee. Shocking impact is transmitted from my arms to my whole body, rattling me from brain to toes. Oh, I'm flying. I put everything I had into that attack, and I got overwhelmed. I can't fight it. I can't fight it at all. Sheer Emir can't even slow that monster down. My body is floating in the air. No, it's soaring. Just like a thrown javelin. Its attack beats me through the air, sending me dozens of meters away. It might even send me back into the castle. That's how hopeless the gap in our strength is. How bleak our chances of escape are. Time pauses. I keep sailing through the air. I probably die once I fall. Just when I'm about to accept this vast power difference as my inevitable fate.
嘘。やだ。嘘でしょ。まさか。
Can't be. No, it can't be. Hasaka. I see Ilya stunned and crying in front of the dark enemy. I reflexively reach out my hand. I manage to grab a tree trunk and put an end to the endless flight. The impact is like a hammer on my back. My nearly bursting heart swells and shrinks in agony. I can only take one breath. Even though I don't have enough oxygen, that single breath threatens to pop me like a balloon. But I can still move. If I have 1 minute to breathe, I can run. I muster all my magic circuits to drive my body.
どうしたのバーサーカー。私だよ。わからないの。
Hey, what's wrong, Berserker? Don't you recognize me? Ilya looks like she's been entranced by the dark foe. In her shock, she keeps whimpering in denial at the changed thing before her. She's fixated on the dark enemy's identity. But Tamina said that it can't see. He was right, but not right. The servant has no eyes, nose, or mouth anymore. Its gleaming red eye sockets give off only bloodlust. Its entire body is corroded by the black mud, and the wound that Saber inflicted is still there. It's something different now. Swallowed by the shadow. It's now a monster whose only purpose is destruction. It can't see what it's chasing. Dark Berserker's eyeballs don't see Ilya. Never mind me. It draws and raises its axe sword over the creature in front of it. Interlude. The priest faces his final moments. Kirikotomina leans against the wall, staring at the blurry sky in front of him. His vestments are battered and torn. His breathing is labored, and he is down to his last 3 black keys.
これで詰めかの。サーバントを向こうによく持ったと褒めるべきか。
This is checkmate. Perhaps I should praise you for holding your own against a servant for so long. Old man chuckles, echoes overhead. Assassin is silent, unlike his talkative master. To him, combat is work. The Dixie aims at his target's vitals are also meant to gauge his prey's strength. When the prey defends against the first dagger, it tells him its mobility. The second dagger reveals its mindset. He maintains a distance of 7 meters. The killer keeps his target at a distance, where only thrown weapons are effective in order to measure its abilities. If he can't slay it in one blow, then he chases it to a position where that is possible. He cripples its limbs, wears out the stamina, and drives it into a point of heart failure. To assassins, his daggers are merely steps to ensure a certain death. He uses the daggers to measure his prey's strength, forces it into a prime opportunity for a kill, and then finishes it off with his devil's arm. It is his work, and a lifestyle that brings him no pleasure. By the work style, the priest proved to be an unexpectedly intriguing mark. He has already used over 20 daggers. The daggers were thrown to gouge his opponent, but every strike was lethal. The priest broke out of the forest while fending off his attacks, arriving at these ruins. Assassin had dismissed him as a mere mortal, but the priest's skills are worthy of admiration. But this is the end. The priest has no more strength left to run. His back is to a wall. All he can do is watch Assassin. He has 3 black keys still concealed. Assassin dodged all 7 of the black keys he threw like bullets, and the weapons vanished into the woods.
では幕じゃな。慈悲をくれてやるがよい、アサシン。
Time to bring this to a close. Bring him out of his misery, Assassin. The skull shakes. Assassin throws daggers without making any visible motions. He targets the forehead, pancreas, and diaphragm? I don't know that organ. Sorry. Simultaneously, the priest defends against the unleashed lightning with the black keys in his hand. It's a foregone conclusion. The throwing technique, which once unleashed, is certain to spell victory. The 3 vital points attacks are feigned. Once Kiri Kotomine parried the daggers, his fate was sealed. Die. A wing flutters open. Assassin's long cursed arm unfolds like a one-winged spear. It's an unavoidable attack. Assassin knows the priest's movements. He has a firm understanding of his tired, bloodied prey's abilities. Thus, it is inevitable. Prey may have avoided getting killed by the dirks, but his life ends there. Even if he had some strength in reserve, the priest's body cannot keep up with his thoughts. The 3 daggers he parried left him no choice but to jump to the side. He has no way to escape his arm from 4 meters away. The devil's arm extends. The priest shows no fear. He was prepared for this. He anticipated everything. The feint, the attacks from a cursed arm, and he defended himself, and the lack of any avenue of escape. Yes, this outcome was inevitable, no matter how much he struggled. That is why,
セット
said, hear me. His last resort is to sacrifice himself in a simultaneous strike. The skull chuckles. In reaching for the priest's heart, the devil's arm crosses paths with the black keys. This is not a problem. Only assassin's arms took any damage. He learns that black keys can still strike him, even at this range. Not too bad for the priest. Even if they are imbued with magical effects, the black keys cannot defeat assassin. The three flint swords will probably pierce assassin and nail him to the tree behind him. But that's all. The priest celebrates the fact that he finally wounded assassin. He will die when assassin crushes his heart. Assassin's arm finishes its work first. His noble phantasm, Zanabia, positively touched the priest's chest and created a false heart. But it doesn't feel like it worked. Man's heart is empty. It doesn't react. Suddenly an explosive impact rattles him. The three black keys slam assassin into a tree and nail his cloak to it. He's astonished for two reasons. First, the black keys have stopped him from moving. And second,
バカな、なぜ死なのキレイ
impossible. Why aren't you dead, Kiri? The priest's coat flutters. He jumps. It's a comically high jump, like a human cannonball. He sought and stored his strength until he let it all out, performing a superhuman feat that instantly reduces 10 meters to 0, high above the lush trees. His hands cross around the head of Zoken Mato, who had been enjoying the would-be execution.
アサシン、何をしておるか
Assassin, what are you doing? That much is obvious. His bodyguard has been pinned to a tree by the three black keys. But they only inflict flesh wounds on assassins. Blessed stakes only make it impossible for him to rescue the old man.
私が殺す私が生かす私が傷つけ私が癒す我が手を逃れうる者は一人もいない我が目の届かぬ者は一人もいない
I kill. I give life. I harm and I heal. None shall escape my reach. None are beyond my sight. Why did he challenge an enemy he knows he can't beat? Was this always his objective from the beginning?
お己貴様貴様
Damn you! Damn you! Damn you!
黙っていろ舌を噛むぞ
Be silent, you'll bite your tongue. The priest takes hold of the old man's head and slams it into the ground.
打ち砕かれよ
Be crushed to pieces.
敗れた者老いた者を私が招く私に委ね私に学び私に従え
I welcome the defeated and the old. Yield to me, learn from me, obey me.
休息を歌を忘れず祈りを忘れず私を忘れず私は軽くあらゆる重みを忘れさせる
Take succor. Do not forget to sing. Do not forget to pray. Do not forget me. I am light, and I shall make you forget all your burdens. He is merciless. Katamina slams the old mage's body into the ground, crushing his bones. Then he smashes his skull against the wall.
そうかわしを殺すかよかろう好きにするがいいだがそれで何が変わるお前の望みが叶うとでも思うておるのか
You would kill me? Fine. Do as you please. But what will change? Do you think your wish will be granted?
装うなかれ
Make no pretense.
許しには報復を信頼には裏切りを希望には絶望を光ある者には闇を生ある者には暗い死を
Let there be vengeance and forgiveness, betrayal and trust, despair and hope, darkness and light, death and life. He walks, marking the wall with a trail of an old man's blood.
なんと救いようのない男よ。未だ人並みの幸福とやらを求めているのか。そのようなもの、お主には絶対にないと理解したのではなかったか。
What a hopeless man you are. You still seek human blessing. I thought you understood that such things will never come to you. Otomine grinds the mural of flesh and blood into the wall. All that is left of old mage's body is his head. Bit by bit, it's filled away. Less than half of his head remains. As his brains are squished into paste, old mage cackles one last time.
休息は私の手に。あなたの罪に油を注ぎ、印を記そう。
Seek succor in my hands. Let your sins be anointed and marked.
永遠の命は死の中でこそ与えられる。
In death you shall gain eternal life.
許しはここに。受肉した私が誓う。
Here lies forgiveness. To myself given flesh, I swear thus.
そう、お前には永遠にない。綺麗よ。主は生まれながらの欠陥者に過ぎん。この世の道理に溶け込めぬまま、生還者であり続けるがよい。
Yes, there'll be no eternity for you. Oh, Kire. You were flawed from the moment you were born. Go on and play spectator, while you fail to meld into the logic of the world.
キリエ、エレイソン。
Kire, Eleison. Lord have mercy on this soul. The cackling fades. A weight and a shape, impeccable to the human eyes, fades into nothingness. Baptism rites. The church fixed its scriptures, the words of their God, into a system with that magecraft foundation. Baptism rites are said to be the most powerful tool against spirits. When souls are cut off from their bodies, becoming lost and crazed, these keys of providence return them to the void. The 500-year-old mage flawed conviction are sublimated into a final act of mercy. Damn. We got even more aura points. Time has stopped.
やだ、
Oh,
私こんなのやだよ。パーサーカー。
I don't want this berserker. Ilya screams a plea, but the giant doesn't know who she is. It swings its greatsword down at her. Ilya! I run. I was thrown about 10 meters, but I can cross that in an instant. I know I'll make it if I run. In the span of a single breath, the narcotic blood propellant will propel my body like a jet stream, and my thoughts will blaze like lightning. I take a step forward. My body feels light. I can feel time stop. I can make it. I know I'll make it, but once I do... The black key had no effect. I had no effect. That's why. I rummage through my armory, searching for something to make. Something that can beat him. Something that's strong enough to stop him here. Oh, obvious. It can only be the greatsword he's holding. I blocked it. I projected the weapon, as if it comes naturally to me. and take the giant's X-Sword head on. It's cracked. Pressures from the X-Sword I projected. At the same time. The feedback from using something I shouldn't have used nearly kills me. I'm thrown throughout the air. Through the air. The X-Sword shatters against the giant's second attack, and my body tumbles along the ground like a piece of trash. Fading. My mind is fading. Can't think. I try to collect my scattered self, but I can't think. My left arm revolts against me. My body overflows. The mere act of projection, even though my left arm is still bound, halves my IQ, and I feel an awful chill that tells me there's no going back. That terrible premonition will turn out to be true. The first thing I lose will be the most precious to me. A tempest rages around me. I'm bathed in blinding light. I can't see, I can't find it. I've lost sight of it amidst the pain. I'm looking for it, but I can't find it. My ego becomes a grain of sand in the desert, never to be found by anyone ever again. And I'm thirsty, thirsty, thirsty.
シロ、しっかりして。ちゃんと自分を見つけなさい。
Shiro, snap out of it. You need to find yourself. Elia's here. I'm on the ground. The dark giant is about 10 meters away. Its red eyes dazzle, as if searching for my thrown body. I return to my senses. This is no time to be taking a dirt nap. My body can still move. My only injuries are scratches from the tree branches. I'm only lightly bleeding, but my lungs feel tight. I grasp for air, trying to oxygenate my exhausted body. That's all. What's more important are my insides. I don't want to know what the air look like, but I can still fight. Ilya, you're falling back. I grab Ilya's hand and start running. Even if I'm not injured, I still need to catch my breath. I need to at least get out of his reach for a minute so I can compose myself. However,
なんで？シロ、自分がどうなってるか分かってるの。
what did you do at Shiro? Do you know what's happening to you? Ilya resists my pull. Something's wrong. Berserker is behind Ilya, trying to pinpoint where we are. I can't think straight due to the lack of oxygen. I can't figure out why Ilya asked me to that question. Ilya?
ごめんなさい。けど、もういいの。もういいから。シロ、一人で逃げて。
Sorry, that's enough. You don't have to do this anymore, Shiro. Just escape on your own. Ilya looks gloomy. My head won't work. So I just get angry instead. Damn it. Don't throw a tantrum right now. Come on, Ilya. This isn't the time. Pull Ilya's arm. She's so small, but she's trying to help me. I feel so terrible. It feels so terribly precious.
何するのよ、シロ。もういいって言ってるじゃない。今ならまだ間に合うから。シロ、一人で逃げて。
Wait, what are you doing, Shiro? I said that's enough. You can still make it if you go by yourself. She hammers her little fist on my head. I ignore it. Shut up. If I could do that, I never would have come here in the first place. I hug Ilya tight. Her eyes ask me why. What a dumb question. It doesn't matter why. Do I need a reason? I just want to protect you. A big brother is supposed to protect a sister, alright?
バカじゃないの。私はシロの妹なんかじゃないもん。
Excuse me? That's stupid. I'm not even your little sister. It doesn't matter. You called me big brother once. So, I'm your big brother now. Even if you're not related by blood, you're my sister, Ilya.
シロ
The dark giant turns this way. Run, he is coming. I can think later. Right now I need to put as much distance between us as possible. It's a little strange. The speed with which Shiro Emiya runs with Ilya is too fast, surpasses what she knows he physically is capable of. They come into a familiar clearing. The choking, ragged breaths belong to Ilya. I don't feel out of breath at all. Maybe my body is gone numb. It feels hard because I lack oxygen, but it's like I'm not even breathing. Like I'm a dead man. My heart's been on complete strike for a while now.
大丈夫走れるか
I'm okay. I can still run. Ilya's fingers feel scarily hot as they grip mine. Scarily hot as I grip mine. She's never had the physical strength to keep running like this. Her creators never thought she'd have to engage in physical exercise like other humans while they were designing her. I have a headache. Knowledge I don't know is entering my brain. But distractions. We need to get away from here. The giant is closing in on us, even though its intellect and senses are sealed. For a while it seemed to go in the wrong direction, but I don't like how fast it's getting. My legs are shaking and I calmly judge that I won't be able to move more than 10 meters. Ilya can't run anymore either. We could try to hide, but there's no cover around here to conceal us. Naturally, it wouldn't do a lick of good to hide from a berserker that can't see to begin with. I've got it. We can count on some small blessings. One small blessing. The crevice in the clearing that widens into a ditch. It's a scar that savors no phantasm left on the ground. This way, Ilya. Take Ilya and jump into the ditch. The trench is easily wide enough for two. I rest my back against the bare earth. I look up at the sky, catching my breath. The sky looks small and cut off from us. It's like we are underground. I take deep breaths. I use this short pause to rest and calm my afraid mind. But our repose only lasts for a moment. The giant won't lose us. No matter where we run, it'll track us down, capture us, and slaughter us. The girl next to me is curled up, trying to keep her voice down. Ilya stifles her voice and hugs herself, trying not to burden me. We're at the end of the line. We can't run anymore, and I can't keep it in check. Look at the red shroud around my left arm. A one way out has been waiting for me to unlock it. I die. But to me is said that it's a fuse on a time bomb. I'm reminded on my earlier pain. A single projection almost shattered me. I can't imagine how agonizing it would be once I unwrap this arm. The trigger is always in my mind. If I reach for the shroud, it's no different from putting a muzzle of a gun in my mouth and pulling the trigger. If a hammer will fall if I unwrap the shroud, my brains will blow out the back of my skull and everything will end. Make up your damn mind. I've always known the answer. I'll bring Ilya back and save Sakura. I know what that means. I'll keep protecting Ilya, defeat the alien shadow, and tear Sakura away from it. That's the impossible miracle I wish for. Even now I desire that outcome with every fiber of my being. I know it's a dream, an ideal. It will never come true, but I never even considered giving up on it. So, I have to go. I'll save Sakura and help Ilya. I can't do it. Sakura is dying. Her path contains nothing but destruction. Someone told me that I would take a miracle to save her. That's right. Salvation that humans can't achieve. To acquire a miracle that can't achieve on your own, that you can't achieve on your own, you have to pay an appropriate price. You can't protect yourself while saving someone else. What if the only way to rescue Sakura from her path of ruin is to have someone else trade places with her? The earth trembles. The living tempest is charging towards us. I'm going out there. Is it alright if I take him down, Ilya? She realized that I'm holding my left arm with my right hand.
ダメ。それだけはダメ。あーちゃんの腕を使ったら戻れなくなる。死ぬのよ。いいえ、死ぬ前に殺されるわ。シローが何も悪いことをしてないシローがそこまでする必要ない。
No, you can't do that. There's no going back once you use Archer's arm. You'll die. No, you'll get killed before that. You haven't done anything wrong, Shiro. So you don't have to do this to yourself. I'll deal with it somehow. Even if it feels like I'm going to die. Don't worry, Ilya. Oh, but one correction. I've done something terrible.
シロー。
Anyway, I'm going. Wait here for me. With my right hand, I give Ilya a light pat on the head and walk along the trench. I leave Ilya. I lure Berserker away and fight him head on. I need to make sure we are far enough away that Ilya doesn't get involved. He's here. I touch a knot securing the holy shroud to my left shoulder. It's tied tightly around my wrist, so I have to undo it from the shoulder. Once it's untied, I can tear the rest of it off. When I do, the pain I feel will be dozens times worse than anything I've experienced so far. Kotomine called it the fuse on a time bomb. I ignite it once I take off the shroud. I don't know if I explode 1 minute later or die 1 day later. But I'm certain that there's no putting up the flame once it's lit. My tongue is dry. I can't shake off my fear, even though I know what's coming. I'm so nervous I want to scream. I wonder if I stay sane. I'm utterly terrified of myself. It's only natural that I die. My being here makes that foregone conclusion. What if I'm going to be killed anyway, and I want to keep living as long as I can? So there's only one thing that I'm afraid of. I hope that my mind won't break before my body does. Will I withstand the pain? Will I forget who I am, who Ilya is, before the fight even starts? Will I even forget my vow to protect her? That's what I'm afraid of, more than anything else. That's why I've kept this sealed away. I told myself that I'd never use this arm, even if my life was in danger. What happened to Berserker? What happened to me too? Might give in to the pain, lose my mind and turn into something like that. I'll always be afraid of that as long as I have this left arm. It's an embodiment of a nightmare where I'm killed. And yet, if I know that, then why am I still here? Don't worry about that. As I think that there's only one reason I'm still here. He wanted me to live until it was time to use this arm. He knew I'd need it, so he entrusted it to me. He said that I would judge myself. Ilya said that I've done nothing wrong. Yeah. And that's enough. I redeem myself here. I betrayed myself and sacrificed so many lives. But there's something I still want compromise on, and I keep living for it. I channel my strength into my red punishment. Where I live or where I die. I take a deep breath, bracing myself for what's to come, and tear the shroud. In an instant, the world falls apart. Despair howls. The gust exceeds 100 meters per second. I'm being battered by a tempest that no person, no living thing could possibly survive in. It isn't even wind anymore. The air pressure is a steel storm crushing my body. It smashes my eyeballs. It crushes me into a wall. I can't move a finger, much less lift my arms. My blood flows backwards. My mind is bleached clean. There's no pain. The concept of feeling and enduring pain is far too human. I melt. I can't even cry out in defiance. I have nothing. No way to resist. I need to move forward, but I can't even lift a finger. Melt into the void. My body and mind crumble into senselessness. Forward. Why am I here? Still, forward. What did I become? What did I become like this before? Beyond. What am I fighting for? Go forward, past this wind. I vanish. My mind held on even after my body had failed long ago, but now it disappears. I can't hold it together. I can't move no matter how hard I try. I can't hang on no matter how determined I am. I try to focus every fiber of my being into clenching my right hand. If I can do that, then I can plant my feet. If I can move any part of my body, I use that for a foothold to move forward. I can't move my fingers, much less make a fist. My left eye is pulverized. The howling wind punctures my eardrums. My consciousness and sight are fading. Amidst it all, I see an impossible vision. He's standing. He's standing in the middle of this wind. He's trying to make it to the other side. Like it's a natural thing to do. He walks through the steel wind, scarlet cloak fluttering. I clench my jaw. I hear my teeth grinding. My right hand has been balled into a fist all this time. The Red Knight doesn't look at me. He turns slightly, revealing a grim face. He doesn't care that I'm about to be swallowed by the wind. He foresaw this outcome. Shiro Emiya cannot defy this wind. He knows he's known long ago, all along, that there's no future for a man who betrays himself and clings to wishes he can't handle. His words are correct. Someday I'll be judged from my accumulated debts. And yet, his back says,
ついてこれるか?
Can you keep up with me? With contempt, with faith. He's waiting for me to arrive. I'm not the one keeping up with you. My vision burns. Heat bursts into my senseless body. I cut through the wind with my limbs, as if I'm swinging great swords. You're the one who needs to keep up with me! With all my strength, I charge past his red back. I step onto earth. The wind has gone still. The dark giant is 30 meters away. He can reach me in less than 3 seconds. That's why. I'll finish this in 3 seconds. My mind is razor sharp. I know my own fighting strength. The projection of matter. Leveraging principles of creation. Fundamental points, structural materials, manufacturing techniques, host experience, and accumulated time. A reality marble that overlays the map of the world, imprinted in my soul, onto the world, a manifestation of my mental world, according to the magecraft theory of the world Ek. I inherited Archer's accumulated skills, experience and physical strength. Correction. I failed to load his physique. I'll still die if Berserker smashes me. I cannot use his reality marble, unlimited blade works. Archer's inner world is different than mine. I can't recreate it. All I can replicate are noble phantasms he recorded, and with things which Shiro Emiya has personally learned. If I decide to draw a noble phantasm from my left arm, I will search unlimited blade works for the most appropriate weapon to my purpose and replicate it. Be warned, however. Projection is a double-edged sword. If I use it even once, I hold my breath and cram all my magical energy into my left arm. I just need a weapon that I can use. I'm well aware of the risk. Further ahead, I go past this wind and strike myself down. Trace on. Begin projection. I stare at him. I take in every millimeter of his greatsword. I spread my left hand and take hold of an imaginary weapon that has yet to appear. It's incredibly massive. Shiro Emiya cannot handle the sword, but this left arm can replicate this enemy's monstrous strength. Something breaks. Part of my chest shatters with a metallic sound. My skeleton buckles under the flow of magic energy. It's pathetic, like an apple peel. Here I go. I'm beyond worrying. The arm will make up for my broken parts. I devote my undivided attention to killing my enemy. He noticed. His bloodlust focuses on me. The dark giant senses my magecraft as a hostile act and his eyes moves. They're like black, ominous stars. The giant roars a death cry and storms into slaughter his enemy. Berserker. In his rage, the giant hasn't changed. He is still trapped in this battle with Saber. Blind, insane, and rotting. He dies a second death while still fighting to protect Ilya. 1 second. The charging giant won't stop at one attack, and normal projection won't save me. My trace projection won't work on him. I can't defeat this giant unless I project something beyond my limits. So I trigger off load projection. I visualize 9 blows. I duck the first swing, activate all 27 latent magic circuits in my body. 2 seconds. He's in front of me. The greatsword comes down. Air pressure viciously wipes me. I step in to meet the assault. My aim focuses on 8 vital points. Set. Ominous process projection complete. 9 lives blade works. Now, I shoot 100 heads. And I surpass his sonic speed with a godlike swiftness of my own. He won't go down. Berserker's still standing, even after being ravaged by his own weapon. I take another step forward. My left hand holds the giant sword. I'm faster. Berserker's dying without 8/10 of his body. I can finish him first. I lift the sword to chest height and drive it in like a spear. But I lost. My initiative didn't matter. I used every last drop of the rule-breaking power I was given and still lost. Berserker's attacks come swinging down. He kicks up a tempest that buffets me. I twist my body, evading with all my might. I saw the attack coming. I can dodge this. Berserker's slash will only gaze my temple. But even that would be lethal. He only needs to graze me by a few millimeters to kill me. A direct blow would be literal earth-shattering. A close shave by his sword tip would splatter my head like tofu. The greatsword swoops in. My vision freezes the instant my head is about to be taken off. But his greatsword swung with menacing drive, holds with equally frightening abruptness. The executioner's axe stops short of my neck. The dark giant is looking at something in front of him, not at me. His mindless eyes are staring at a pale girl peeking out of a trench. I pierce him. I don't miss the opportunity to mercilessly drive my sword through the berserker's heart. He doesn't fight back. This time, the giant's remaining life crumbles to dust. In those final moments, his fading red eyes urge me to protect her. Whoa. God damn. I've been waiting for this moment, man. Oh. And I love the Emir theme playing. It's always in the hypest moments in every Fate. Not every, but well, in Fate Stay Night and in Fate Extra when you use an old Phantasm. So anyway, let's continue. The battle only lasts a moment. It really was finished in the span of a single breath. With trembling lips, the boy told the girl that he was leaving. He took the red bindings in his hand and left her side, swallowing his fatigue and his worry. She came out of a ditch to stop him. For an instant, she watched his back shrink into the distance, unsure what to say or if she should stop him, until she couldn't take it and came out after him. Less than 10 seconds had passed. That brief hesitation decided the outcome of the duel. She emerges from the trench. The battle was already over. A giant protector looked at her and disappeared. A breeze enters the clearing, as if to announce the end of the fight. All she can see is the boy's back. The battle is over. The arm is no longer a heroic spirit's arm. The boy challenged death with his own power and won. She keeps watch over him. From behind, it seems as he'll never look at her again. Freed of the holy shroud, the victorious boy looks so gallant. He won't show any more doubt. The moment he tore the shroud off and created that projection, he cast off all distractions. She watches him gloomily from him behind. The boy has become someone else, something else. He has chosen a foolish but noble conclusion, and there's no going back. I restart my frozen lungs. My left arm feels hot and my entire body aches. An electric eel coils its way through my body. I can't possibly stand. Hurry. I need to hurry and wrap up my arm in the shroud again. I hit the time limit unless I escape this pain. But I can't seal it back up quite yet. I can't rest and put down this arm. Once I defeat her. Saber. I face Saber. I swallow my pain and steel myself for another fight. Saber slowly approaches, as if she'd always intended to take in for a defeated giant. She stops. She's 7 meters away, close enough for her to close the gap and strike in a bronze breath. I face her head on. I'm going to die. Can't move after fighting Berserker. I won't be able to avoid being cut in two when Saber rushes me. That's not all. I wouldn't be able to beat her, even if I was at my best. No matter what I do, I can't project anything stronger than Saber's noble phantasm. So, this outcome is certain. The only person who could defeat Saber is someone with a noble phantasm rivaling hers. But that's a contradiction. In sheer offensive power, Saber has the ultimate noble phantasm. Well, there might be a heroic spirit with stronger weapons than her sacred white sword, but they're not in this holy grey war. Right now, only Saber's sword can defeat her. So it's a contradiction. In this situation, Saber's the strongest servant. The last time I saw Sakura, she had an inconceivable amount of magical energy. Even Sakura wouldn't be able to beat Saber. Unlike when I was her master, Saber now has an adequate energy source. He's effectively invincible.
無駄なことを。あなたではサクラは救えないと忠告した結果がそれか。
Oh, futile. I warned you that you cannot save Sakura. And this is what you do? Saber's voice is stone cold. That's the signal. She comes to cut me down, without a shred of hesitation or mercy. So what? I can't let her kill me here. I can't lose, even if I'm fighting Saber. I might not be able to beat her, but I can at least take Ilya and get away.
だが幸運だな。自滅する者に関わっている場合ではなくなった。さくらが私を呼んでいる。
Consider yourself lucky. I no longer need to bother with someone who will eventually kill himself. Sakura calls for me. Saber turns her back on me and starts heading deep into the
い
forest.
や、運ではなく自らの手で勝ち取った成果か。あなたはバーサーカーを倒した。その決意がこの結果を引き寄せたのだから。
No, not luck. You defeated Berserker and survived through your own efforts. Your determination brought you this outcome. Saber leaves without turning back. I can't stop her. She is the enemy. Whatever her reason, I can only be grateful that she let us go. I'm wounded from head to toe. I can't afford to take any enemies to stay. Afford to ask any enemy to stay. I bite back the pain and turn into the opposite direction as Saber fades into the distance. Need to take Ilya and leave the forest. Saber is our only enemy. Might have gotten away from Sakura and the shadow, but Zorkin is still there, a threat as long as he's around. I know what's happening to my body. I know what will happen. I have 3 projections left. No, even one would be risky, if I want to stay in one piece. I can't face Zorkin and Assassin in this condition. There's no point if my body tears itself apart right after I win. I need to keep my promise to Tosaka and save myself from that final effort. I might not be able to fight anymore, but there's still hope.
シロ
I hear Ilya's voice. Yeah, we should get out of here, the forest, as soon as we can. If Saber, if Sakura changes her mind, we won't have another chance. I can't look at Ilya. My heartbeat drums, a canopony that's bouncing around inside my skull. Interlude. Purification by holy word. Priest's exorcism disperse Zorkin's Smarto's spiritual body. Only 2 men are left in the clearing. Kiriko Tomina leans against the wall, bloody and battered, his robe stained red. Assassin is pinned to a tree by black keys.
完全に魔術師殿を消したな、大公者。あれが虫の集まりだと知っていたのか。
You completely erased my lord Mage, Executor. Did you know he was a swarm of insects? He turns to face the voice. Assassin is gone. Only a bloodstain and the black keys remain embedded in the tree.
あれとは長い付き合いでな。虫を触媒にしてこちらに干渉する霊体だと知っていた。故に肉体をちぎったところで効果はない。殺すのなら跡形もなく肉体をすりつぶすか。
He and I go back a ways. I knew that he was a spirit who uses insects to interact with the world. Physically injury is ineffective. The only way to kill him would be to crush every trace of his body.
貴様のように霊体そのものに攻撃するか。
So you attacked his spiritual body instead.
なるほど。人間にしては強いくくりでとどまっていた魔術師殿だが、経典による聖言には弱かろう。
He was quite attached to his mortality, but it made him vulnerable to words of scripture.
悪霊払いとはよく言ったものだ。魔頭造剣にとって貴様は天敵だったということか。
So that is why they call you an exorcist. You are Zoken Mato's natural enemy. The priest doesn't answer. He checks his injuries. His bleeding has stopped. He's lost his weapons, but he isn't critically wounded. A few minutes rest should be enough to recover his strength.
それでどうするのだ、アサシン。お前のマスターは消えた。魔力提供がなくなったお前ならば、私の聖言でも十分に通用するが。
What will you do now, assassin? Your master is gone. Even my prayers would prove effective against you without his magic energy to support you.
だろうな。この体はじき消える。新しいマスターを得なければ、この森に漂う浮遊霊と大差はない。この身は一日を待たず下級霊に落ち、この世から消えるだろう。
Indeed. My body will soon fade away, unless I find a replacement master. I'm a little different from the spirits wandering these woods. In less than a day, I will regress into a lesser spirit and disappear from this world.
そうだ。マスターのいないサーバントであらば、私でも傷は与えられる。
That's right. Even an executor such as myself can harm a masterless servant.
それで、どうなのだ。主の敵討ちをするか、アサシン。
So what now? Will you avenge your fallen lord?
それほど推挙ではない。魔術師殿は慢心によって敗北した。私の落ち度とは思えぬ。
I'm not that impulsive. The Lord Mage was defeated by his own arrogance. It was no failure of mine.
思えぬが、合点のいかぬことがある。それを聞かねば収まりがつかん。
There are still some things which do not make sense to me. I must know more about them.
ザバーニーヤの不成功か。
Mean how Zanabia failed?
シャイタンより譲り受けた腕と見たが、ザバーニーヤの名を冠する以上、私に効き目はない。
Your arm appears to be from Shenkian? But since you graced it with the name of a fallen angel, it cannot affect me.
それは人を罰するものゆえ、同種の存在を呪えるものではない。すでに人のものではない私の心臓は、呪いにはめっぽう強いのだ。
There's something that punishes humans. It cannot curse something of its own kind. I am no longer a man. My heart is extraordinarily resistant to curses.
やはり、貴様の心臓はあの娘と同じだった。
I knew it. Your heart is just like that girl's.
貴様、すでに汚染されていたな。
Have you already been tainted? The priest doesn't answer. His lips only curl into a sardonic smile.
だが、だとしてもなぜ知っていた？貴様の行動は私の腕が効かないと知っていなければできぬことだ。
But how did you know? You would only have acted that way if you'd known that my arm would not affect you.
貴様は初めから私に宝具を使わせるつもりでいたな。
Did you intend to make me use my noble phantasm from the start?
そうだな。お前の腕は知っていたぞ、アサシン。
Yes, I knew about your arm already, assassin.
対象の心臓と全く同じ偶像を作り、反響存在とすることで、実像の心臓とすり替える呪いの腕。
It's a cursed arm which creates an identical image of your target's heart and swaps it with a real heart by treating it as a mirror existence.
私のサーバントは その腕によって敗れたのだ。
It is what killed my servant.
では貴様は
And you.
ああ、見ていたとも。奴が生き絶える瞬間までな。
Yes, I was watching until his final moments.
知っていたのは当然だろう。ランサーを倒した時点で、お前の失態は決まっていた。
So of course I knew. Your loss was decided the moment you killed Lancer.
確かにこれは失態だ。
What a failure. Assassin clicks his tongue with loathing. He dismisses his bloodlust. Disappointed, he leaves. The priest's response seems to have satisfied his curiosity.
次の契約者を探しに行ったか。
Gone to look for a new contractor, I see.
大方。次の雇用主はマトサクラといったところだが。
He will most likely serve Sakura Mato next. The priest has no problem with that. As long as Zoken Mato doesn't kill Sakura Mato, he doesn't care. Zoken wishes for immortality. Obtaining Sakura's body will satisfy that desire. As long as that old man is alive, the curse guesting with the Holy Grail will never be born. It would be meaningless to have Sakura become an insect's vessel after she has grown this much. He needs her to keep being a master. Of course.
そう、お前には永遠にない。
Yes, there will be no eternity for you.
主は生まれながら欠落しておる。
You were flawed from the moment you were born. He feels slightly dizzy when he stands up. He must be exhausted. The priest leans against the wall, and sleepily closes his eyes for a time. It happened 10 years ago. Flawed from the moment you were born. The man tried many things after he realized this truth. In his youth, he did not understand morals, but he did possess common sense. He attempted to overcome this flaw, but it was not to be. His pain and struggle ended in failure. His last effort was a woman. It was a simple tale. Any human dreams of loving someone of the opposite sex, having a family, and dying a peaceful death. No one spurns that peace or fails to dream of it. He was no exception. Even if it didn't appeal to him at all, he decided that it would be nice to have. And he loved a woman, but to obtain some measure of human-like happiness. He chose a woman with no future. She was ill, with only years left to live. Did he choose her because of that, or because he had no other choice? Even now, he's not sure why. They spent about 2 years together. The man tried to love the woman. The woman did her best to love him back, and she gave him a child. But the outcome did not change. The man found happiness in his woman's suffering and his child's despair. The more he tried to love her, the more she suffered. To him it was only a saving grace of their bond. The contradiction did not bother him. He is not even sure if he suffered. But the more the woman tried to soothe him, the more he found himself wanting to see her grief. She was a saint. She was frail. But he would have called her a saint. It need not be said how profound her faith was, and how well she understood his rage. This is why he nearly despaired. He would never again meet someone who understood him so well and tried to heal him, but even this woman could not fill the void within him. So, there was no need to question his life any longer. He was born flawed. His birth was a mistake. He concluded that if he was a mistake, then he should disappear. He went to part ways with a woman before his death. He married her as an experiment, so he was obligated to her, known as it was over. The woman loved Kotomine. Kotomine tried to love her too. That's all there was to it. The end came all too quickly.
私にはお前を愛せなかった。
I could not love you. He told her in a room surrounded by stone walls. The woman smiled on her deathbed. Her body, all skin and bones, could not even stand anymore.
いいえ、あなたは私を愛しています。
Oh, you do love me. And she smiled and ended her own life. He didn't try to stop her. There would have been no point in doing so. The woman had a terminal illness. She would have died sooner or later. He knew that when he chose her. As her consciousness faded, the blood-soaked woman looked up to the man and laughed.
ほら、あなた、泣いているもの。
See? You're crying, dear. Of course, he didn't shed a single tear. He only looked that way to he only looked that way to her. With her death, the woman proved to him that he could love someone, that his life was worth living. He left the room without saying another word and abandoned the Lord's teachings. Yes. He did think it was sad, but not because she died. In that moment he thought,
なんということだ。どうせ死ぬのなら私が手を下したかった。
what a shame. If she was going to die anyway, I wish I could have killed her myself. He did not mourn her death, but lamented the fact that he couldn't enjoy it. It happened a long time ago. He can't remember her face anymore. Never mind her voice. But sometimes he thinks,
私が手を下したかった。
I wish I could have killed her myself. What would have brought him joy? Or was it because he loved her that he was sorry he couldn't kill her? He would serve that train of thought whenever he found himself dwelling on it. Sever the train of thought, sorry. That question should be left to eternity. The woman's death was meaningless, because her devotion failed to change him. But he did not want it to be worthless. He would never try to answer that question. It happened a long time ago. It was the memory of a man, nourished by the misfortune of others, who found fulfillment in the world's corruption. After that, the man met his arch-nemesis, Kiritsuko Emir, a mage who chose to invalidate everything the man might have wanted for himself. The priest opens his eyes. It seems he was asleep for a while. After confirming that his strength has returned, he begins walking to catch up to Shiro
い
Emiya.
いえ、どこにも行けない。
You're not going anywhere.
だって、あなたはここで死ぬんだもの。
Oh, you're going to die right here. A girl blocks his path. She's completely changed. She's clothed in her own shadow. A dark magical energy cloaks her like a part of her own body. The sheer amount of magical energy and her existence are no longer that of her humans. Her spiritual caliber has now reached the level of pure heroic spirit, a counter-guardian.
完全に汚染されたな、的をさくら。
You've been completely corrupted, Sakuramato.
体だけではない。精神まであの呪いに同調しなければ、そこまでの変貌はない。
Not just in body. You could not have transformed this much without adapting your mind to that curse.
認めたな。自分が怪物なのだと。
So,
開き直ったというわけだ。
so, you have accepted that you are a monster now. The priest denounces her, even though he wished for it. He scolds her for becoming drunk on her own power.
そう。自分の力に酔うのはいけませんか？
And what's wrong with that?
けど、きっと仕方のないことなんですよ。これ。
But I didn't have any other choice, you know?
もっとみんなが優しかったら、私だってもう少しぐらい我慢したと思うんです。
Maybe I could have held out a little longer if people had been nicer to me.
ほう。我慢とは何をかな。
Oh, held out against what?
自分をですよ、神父さん。
Myself, Father.
こうなってやっと認められました。
I finally accepted that I hate the world.
この世界が嫌いなんです。私を捨てた遠坂の家。私とは何もかも違う。何不自由なく生きてきた姉さん。怖いおじい様とかわいそうな兄さん。私の痛みも知らず平穏に過ごす街並み。
I was like a family who abandoned me. A sister who's different from me in every way. Living a free life. A scary grandfather and a pitiful brother. This whole town that doesn't know my suffering.
そういうのが今はすごく許せないんです。
I can't forgive any of them.
これが八つ当たりだって理解しています。けど悪いことだって分かっていても思ってしまうんです。
And now I'm just taking my anger out of them, on them. But I can't help but imagine this is even. This, even though, no, it's wrong.
そう。
Yes,
今まで私を助けてくれなかったすべてに私を思い知らせてあげたらどんな顔をするのかって。
I wonder what faces will make when I teach everyone who's never helped me what it's like to be me. The girl smiles in grim delight. The priest is unaffected. He looks at the girl like something dirty.
変わったな、麻藤さくら。なるほど。その闇も適合するための素質だったというわけか。
You've changed, Sakuramato. I see. Your nature was suited to the darkness.
ええ、変わりました。私は今までの麻藤さくらじゃない。あんな弱い子はもういないの。
Yes, I've changed. I'm not the old Sakuramato anymore. That weak girl is gone.
そう。今までみんな私を苦しめてきたんだもの。その仕返しに私がみんなを苦しめてあげるだけ。ただ耐えているだけの私はとっくに消えたわ。
Everyone always made me suffer. I'm just making them feel the same way. The girl who used to just put up with everything is gone. She giggles. Multiple personalities. Sakuramato is gone, replaced by a separate personality that was sleeping within. It is the only explanation for a widely different charming attitude. But
何を言う。隠す必要などないぞ、麻藤さくら。
what do you mean? There's no need to hide it, Sakuramato. The priest denies her with a blunt sentence.
何をですか。
Huh? What do you?
隠す必要などないと言っ
I said you don't need to hide it.
お前は別人格などではない。泥に飲まれ、暴力に酔うお前もまた的をさくらだ。異なる人格を用意し、的をさくらは悪くないなどと言い訳をする必要はない。
You do not have a separate personality. You have become drunk on violence since the mud swallowed you. But you are still the same, Sakramato. There's no need to invent a second personality as an excuse to show that you did nothing wrong. The girl's face stiffens. Is it true? The blackened girl grits her teeth and glares back at the priest.
何よ。あなたが私をこうしたくせに。
What are you? You're the one who did this to me. A shadow writhed in concert with her laughing. They rode everything around like a blaze. The speed with which her shadows covered the ground is nothing like before.
否定はせん。私がお前を生かしたのは、あれのマスターを続けさせるためだ。その期待に応え、お前は見事アベンジャーを誕生させようとしている。
I won't deny it. I allowed you to live so that you could become its master. You have splendidly lived up to my expectations. And now you're trying to give birth to Avenger.
私ではできなかったことを、お前は難なくやってのけたのだ。
You have easily achieved something that I could not.
難なくなんかじゃない。私がどれだけ苦しかったのか、今もどれだけ苦しいのか知りもしないで。
Wasn't easy. You have no idea how much I suffered. How much it hurts even now.
知らんし、知る必要もない。小娘の恨み事を聞くほど水教ではないのでな。
I don't know. Nor do I need to know. I'm not eccentric enough to listen to a little girl's whining.
そう。
All right.
そうですね。私も知ってほしいなんて思わない。
That's fine. I don't want you to know either.
そんな簡単に同情なんてされてやらない。私はこれから一方的に思い知らせる立場なんですから。
I won't let you have pity on me that easily, because from now on, I'm the one who is going to be showing everyone else. A cruel smile plays across her lips. The priest doesn't hesitate to retreat. He moves with the same swiftness that caught Zoke and Mato in midair. He only takes one bound away. The girl is an amateur despite her enormous magical power. He can easily get away from someone who lacks experience in both combat and magecraft.
バカな人。逃げられると思うの。私から。
Foolish man. Did you really think you could run from me? She snickers. Instantly the priest goes limp and tumbles to the ground. He tumbles down. Hirakotomine crumbles, spewing something red from his mouth. Oh. Because he was touched by the who at the end of the last Holy Grey War? That was in him? Or something like that? And she can control that? It doesn't stop. He keeps vomiting blood, and each time he tries to fill his lungs with air, he coughs more blood.
どうですか？心臓をわしづかみにされた感想は。どこにいようと、あなたの命は私の手の上なんですよ。
How does it feel to have someone grab your heart? Your life's in the palm of my hand, no matter where you go, you know.
神父さん、あなたはもう 10年前に死んでいた。エミやキリズクに心臓を撃ち抜かれて死んだんです。それでも生きてこれた理由はただ一つ。
Father, you died 10 years ago. You died when Kiritsuko Emiya shot you through the heart. There's only one reason you stuck around this long.
あなたは誰だったかな。この前食べたサーバントさんなんですけど、まあ名前なんていいですよね。
You're his... who was it again? Some servant I ate earlier. Well, his name doesn't matter.
あの金色の人が聖杯の中身を浴びて、まずあれとつながった。けどあの人は汚染できなくて、あれはマスターであるあなたに流れていったんですよね。
That golden man bathed in the contents of a holy grail and connected that thing to that thing. But he couldn't be corrupted, so it flowed into his master instead.
そうしてあなたは蘇生した。
That's how you came back to life.
アベンジャー。アンリマユから魔力を供給されることで一命を取り留めたんです。
You escaped death because, Avenger, because Anya Manu gave you so much of its power.
そうか。では今のは。
I see, and that was...
はい。あなたはアンリマユとつながっている。けどアンリマユはもう私でしょ。
Yes, you're connected to Anya Manu, but I'm Anya Manu now.
だから潰してあげたんです。今まであなたを生かしていたかりそめの心臓を壊しました。
So, I crushed it for you. I destroyed the black heart that's been keeping you alive.
お望みなら中身を全部潰してあげましょうか。
If you want, I crush all your organs too.
私の手はあなたがどこにいようとその中身を引きずり出せるんですから。
My hands can rip out your insides no matter where you go. The girl raised a hand. Her gracious offer isn't sincere at all. She has no intention of letting the priest leave alive. She'll just laugh and kill him if he begs for his life. She'll take back the temporary life that sustained him. After all, it belongs to her. Even if the amount of magic energy is equivalent to a speck of dust in the corner of a bedroom, she doesn't need to let him have it.
さよなら。私を生かしてくれたことだけは感謝しますね。神父さん。
Goodbye. I suppose I should thank you for saving my life before, Father. The girl lovely fingers curl around his invisible doll. There's a squeezing noise. Priest on the ground is wrung out like a rag. Just one more twist. In less than a second, the priest will die completely. But just before that, the girl crumbles to her knees. She's savaged by nausea and discomfort. She claws at the blackened ground as if pleading for help. It hurts. No, don't come in. The shadows expand. Something must have happened. The black robe covering her body suddenly blooms before returning to its original size. Because she took the thing from Kiri back? Oh. Oh. No way. Berserker actually lost. Because now the magical energy is going to her and she'll lose more of her human emotion? There can't be any other reason. Berserker was defeated. With his death, the pure magical energy of his soul flowed into the girl, like the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail. Damn, I'm smart. My mind twists. Sakuramato's personality is pushed further to the edge. There shouldn't be any more room, but a massive soul has her pressed against the wall. She'll disappear. She'll be gone for good. At this rate, Sakuramato will disappear. Oh, that. She remembers she meant to kill the priest and looks up. She curses herself for being too slow to follow through. It's fine. He'll die. Even if I leave him. The ruins are empty now. All that remains on the spot where Akira Kotomine had been lying is his bloodied vestment. Interlude out. So, with this unexpected call music at the end, or at the beginning of the next part, I'm going to stop the video here. It's been like 3 hours or something like that, and well, I think it's gonna be some more traveling and planning for the next day. And well, I don't want the video to go to enormous lengths, and my throat kind of hurts even more now. So, and I need to work tomorrow early in the morning, and it's pretty late for me. So, with any further ado, I want to thank you for watching this far if you have, and well, can't wait to see what happens in the next day, which is probably the last. And well, I will stop here. Thank you for watching, and until the next part or next time we see each other, bye bye.